Drunk and impulsive, Chen confessed his love to the stunning CEO, causing a catastrophic blunder and facing the threat of losing his job. Just then, a romance assistance system activated. By increasing the goddess's affection toward him, he can earn incredibly generous rewards. From this moment on, wealth, sports cars, luxury mansions, shares. All the finer things in life begin to follow. Chen's once mundane life as an office worker starts to undergo an earth-shaking transformation. Life, he mused, should be lived with this kind of carefree spirit. Chapter 1, Woman, You're Playing with Fire. Wei Hai City. Jinshan Media Company. Chen sat at his workstation, staring at a fierce message on his phone. Lin Shuyer, Chen, come see me after work. You'd better explain what happened last night. Otherwise the consequences will be serious. Seeing her tone as a domineering CEO, Chen nervously swallowed. Last night, he'd been drinking and eating skewers with friends, and after losing at dice, he was dared to play Truth or Dare, confess to a female contact on his WeChat list. Perhaps under the influence, he had chosen his direct superior, Lin Shuyer. She was the general manager of the company, not only highly competent but also beautiful, with an incredible figure, a goddess admired by many. Plenty of men pursued her, but she had never been involved in any scandal, showing just how high her standards were. Chen looked back over their conversation from last night, his face growing increasingly pale. Chen, Shuyer, I like you. Lin Shuyer, you punk, what do you mean by that? You must be out of your mind. Lin Shuyer, did you forget the company rule prohibiting employee relationships? Lin Shuyer, fine. Silent treatment. You're done for. The commanding presence of the gorgeous Lin Shuyer made Chen shudder, unable to say a word. If he told her the truth that it was just a dare in a game, she'd probably fire him on the spot. He clutched his forehead, regret flooding in. Great. That joke went way too far. If he could turn back time, he would never have dared to provoke his boss. Wasn't he that just playing with fire? What to do? Waiting online for answers. Just as Chen's nerves were reaching their limit, a mechanical voice suddenly echoed in his mind. Ding! Congratulations, host. Romance assistance system activated. You can earn substantial rewards, cash, assets, items by enhancing the goddess's favor towards you to help you enjoy a carefree life. Current target list, none. Please add someone to begin. What? A romance assistance system. Chen's eyes sparkled with excitement. Just moments ago, he'd been stressed about offending his beautiful boss and possibly losing his job, but now, a legendary system had activated. It seemed this romance assistance system could solve his relationship troubles and offer rewards. Things were looking up. Before he could delve deeper into it. Knock, knock. A gentle tapping sounded on his desk. A polite young woman with round glasses stood in front of him, smiling. Chen, Manager Lin would like to see you in her office. Huh? Chen looked up at the girl's friendly face, and suddenly a notification popped up. Name, Chen Yang. Age, 22. Appearance, 85-100. Affection level, 68, more than friends, not yet lovers. Current status, slightly nervous, worried. Chen was taken aback. Without the system's help, he wouldn't have realized how high Chen Yang's affection level for him was. If he added her to the system, he'd likely earn an affection reward, right? But a prompt appeared, target S appearance score is below 90. Unable to add as a goddess. Huh? The system required a 90 or above for someone to qualify as a goddess. Despite her high affection level, it was useless. What a shame, she was a lovely girl. Smiling gently, he replied, got it, thanks for letting me know. With that, he stood up and walked toward the manager's office. He was already curious to see what score the picky system would give Lin Shuyer. Jinshan Media, manager's office. Lin Shuyer lounged on her executive chair, her black stockings-clad legs crossed in an elegantly seductive manner. Her black lace-fitted dress highlighted her phenomenal figure, while her alluring almond eyes and delicate beauty mark gave her an irresistible charm. The stunning woman, whose looks could outshine a celebrity's, gazed at Chen with a mix of irritation and amusement. He swallowed hard at her intense gaze. Lin Shuyer was indeed captivating, her beauty like a fox spirit, bewitching anyone who dared to look. Name, Lin Shuyer. Age, 26. Appearance, 97-100. Affection level, 37 neutral. Current status, bored, mildly irritated. Detected 90 plus goddess. Added to target list. Interaction system activated. Raising an eyebrow, Lin Shuyer's displeased voice broke the silence. Chen, don't you think you owe me an explanation for last night? It was clear she cared about what happened, and if he didn't give a proper answer, her affection level would definitely drop. Chen, already tongue-tied, had no idea what to say. Lin Shuyer was no ordinary girl who could be charmed by a few casual words. Feeling like an ant on a hot pan, his mind raced to find the right words. At this critical moment, a virtual panel appeared with 3 response options. 1. Explanation. You're so beautiful anyone would fall for you. How could a passionate young man like me not like you? No need for explanations. Confidently. 2. I'm really sorry, Manager Lin. Last night, I lost a game of truth or dare with my friends. I truly didn't mean to offend you. Please accept my apology. Sincerely. 3. Lin, I want to tell you how I really feel. Straightforward confession. Please consider each choice carefully, as each one will affect the affection level. Increasing Lin Shuyer's affection level to 60 will earn you 500,000 in cash and a 500,000 cashback card. Whoa! 500,000. And a cashback card too. Chen glanced at his boss's alluring figure. The reward and her beauty were equally tempting. His gaze shifted among the options, his mind racing. First, the bold confession would likely get him fired on the spot. Apologizing might not work either. It's why he avoided telling the truth so far. That left him with the final option, a straightforward confession. He was all in. Chapter 2, You're the most beautiful woman in Shanghai I've ever seen. Ms. Lin. After what seemed like a fierce internal debate, Chen finally gathered his courage and said, I want to tell you how I really feel, if that's okay? He carefully observed her reaction as he spoke, unsure if this option would work. Lin Shuyer remained impassive, her expression cool and aloof. Go ahead. What could be so hard to say? Just remember, don't lie to me, or you know the consequences. Lie? Chen's heart skipped a beat. Wasn't he lying right now? Did he choose the wrong option? Should he have gone with a sincere apology instead? But at this point, there was no turning back. Fortunately, the system provided him with a response template. Taking a deep breath, Chen followed it word for word, pouring emotion into his voice. I don't know how to express my feelings for you. I'm trying to keep my admiration respectful, without overstepping boundaries. I just wanted you to know that, to me, you've been an incredible presence in my life, and I hope you're always happy. When he finished, he looked down, his face flushed, not daring to meet her gaze. Not out of shyness, but the system's words were so corny, they were downright embarrassing. Was this so-called love assistance system really trying to help him, or was it just trolling him? He was already mentally cursing it. Under normal circumstances, he would never say such things. Ding! Lin Shuyer's favorability toward you has increased by 5 points. Keep it up. Chen was stunned. It actually worked. He looked up, sneaking a glance at her expression. Sure enough, Lin Shuyer's previously angry face had softened, and a slight, amused smile appeared at the corner of her lips. Really? I'm that irresistible? She said, her eyes cool and lightly mocking as she watched him. You men, always so good at sweet talk. You say you like me. And what do you like about me? Chen was caught off guard. How could he answer this? How could he say what he really thought without ruining his chances? Then, the system prompt appeared again. 1. I like you, and I like your body even more. I want to pin you against the wall and 2. Don't like me. Fine. Don't act like you're special. You think you're made of gold or something. 3. I haven't felt this way about anyone in a long time. Just thinking about you makes me smile. You're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in Shanghai. Your eyes sparkle like stars, and they draw me in, making it impossible to look away. Chen's face went rigid. The first and second answers were obviously too extreme, so he quickly dismissed them. The third option, while over the top, seemed the safest. Taking a deep breath, he looked at Lin Shuyer with genuine sincerity and said, I haven't felt this way about anyone in a long time. Just thinking about you makes me smile. His steady, deep voice and sincere expression made his words especially convincing. Lin Shuyer looked a bit taken aback. She'd only planned to tease him a little, to mess around for fun. But now. Su Chen, he was serious. You're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in Shanghai. Your eyes sparkle like stars. I like how serious you look, and how relaxed you seem when you're at ease. I like every side of you. I don't know what has come over me. I keep seeing you in my mind. Ding. Lin Shuyer's favorability toward you has increased by 5 points. Ding. Lin Shuyer's favorability toward you has increased by 5 points. Enough. Lin Shuyer furrowed her brows and covered Su Chen's mouth, stopping him from continuing. Her cheeks flushed slightly, a mix of embarrassment and exasperation in her eyes. How could he say such things without any shame? Their eyes met, and she looked at him disdainfully. Where did you learn such cheesy lines? Those might work on some naive girl, but not me. Su Chen nodded obediently, looking like an innocent lamb. Seeing her up close, he realized just how breathtakingly beautiful she was. Her eyes were alluring, with a hidden spark that seemed to pull him in, and her slightly parted lips were irresistible. No wonder the system rated her as a 97-point goddess. She released her hand and looked at him suspiciously. You're usually not this talkative. Did you take some kind of pill today? No. Su Chen scratched his head, laughing awkwardly. Women. Their words might say one thing, but their actions often reveal another. The system showed her favorability was climbing steadily. But you're quite bold, daring to make a move on your boss, she said, her gaze becoming serious. Our company has a strict no-dating policy for employees, you know that, right? So, do you know what you need to do? Once again, she threw him a tough question. 1. I'll keep my feelings hidden and 1. Let them affect you. 2. I'll resign immediately so I can pursue you openly. Love can overcome all obstacles. 3. I want to have a secret relationship with you. Su Chen was dumbfounded. Which one should he choose? Chapter 3, The Enigmatic Beauty of the CEO. Difficult to read her mind. Option 1, I'll keep my feelings buried and not let them affect you. Option 2, I'll resign right now, so I can pursue you openly. When there's love, no obstacle is insurmountable. Option 3, I want to have a secret relationship with you. Su Chen felt conflicted, his mind racing. Unlike the previous options, all 3 choices seemed reasonable and didn't appear too outlandish. This required careful consideration for future outcomes. If he chose the first option, this could mean an end to any potential relationship, limiting future developments. The second option, while appearing bold, might make him look desperate and clingy at liquor type, doing all the giving without any real attraction, which was often ineffective in romantic pursuits. Instead, mutual attraction and letting others see your strengths were essential. A clingy guy would end up with nothing. So, could the third, seemingly least reliable, option be the right choice after all? Thinking it over, Su Chen glanced up at his beautiful boss. She was waiting for his response, and the atmosphere had become tense. Suddenly, Su Chen softly said, I want to have a secret relationship with you. What? Lin Shuyer's eyes widened in shock. Did she hear correctly? The usually reserved and steady Su Chen was suggesting a secret relationship with her at work. Unbelievable. Get out of here right now. She snapped, her face icy as she waved him away, directly issuing an eviction order. Su Chen broke out in a cold sweat and quickly turned to leave her office. It's over. This is it, I'm done for. She is so angry. Did I really pick the wrong option? But just then, the system sent a prompt. Ding. Lin Shuyer's favorability with you has increased by +5. Huh? What's going on? Su Chen was stunned. Wasn't she angry? How did her favorability go up instead? Ding. Lin Shuyer's favorability has reached 62 points, activating a reward. Reward, 500,000 cash. Reward, a cashback card worth 500,000. All spending within the next 24 hours, up to 500,000, will be refunded. Claim now. Claim. Su Chen was thrilled, eager to see the cash arrive. 500,000. Most people might work for 10 years without saving that much. All he needed to do was say a few choice lines, and this 500,000 would be his. And a cashback card, too. This was amazing. The next moment, his phone buzzed with a text message. A deposit has been made to your account, amount, 500,000.00. Balance, 506,527.28. Oh wow, having money feels so good. Seeing the message, Chen felt an indescribable sense of satisfaction and started thinking about what he should buy next. After all, this cashback card was only valid for 24 hours. He had to make the most of it, maximizing its value. And if he'd already earned such a generous reward for just 60 favorability points, then future rewards were bound to be even better. Happy with his gains, he checked the system. Current favorability with Lin Shuyer, 62 points. Reach 70 points to unlock the next reward. Current interaction tasks, none. Alright, there's no rushing this. I'll have to work on favorability points slowly. Chen closed the system and left work for the day. Night fell, and the city lights dazzled. Guojin Center. This luxurious shopping mall, a symbol of Weihai's high-end shopping scene, housed all kinds of premium brands, one of the city's famous gold spending spots. Prices here were so high that an average person might consider buying a 3,000 yuan item a celebration. But for the wealthy, buying luxury items was as routine as picking up groceries. Such was the reality of wealth disparity. Soon, Chen stepped into the bustling mall, feeling small in the grand surroundings. But with 500,000 in his account, money now gave him confidence and courage. He found himself standing outside an LV Louis Vuitton flagship store, its emblem bold and prominent. A fashionable couple, both smiling brightly, walked out together. Though neither was particularly attractive, their designer clothes seemed to boost their aura. So, this is what they mean by clothes make the man. Chen chuckled, walking confidently into the flagship store. A sweet-looking sales associate immediately greeted him with a warm smile. Hello, sir. How can I assist you? I'd like to look at some outfits for autumn. Could you help me pick some? Chen gave her a quick once-over. Her professional attire, a blazer, pencil skirt, and stylish loafers flattered her graceful figure. Her makeup was polished, and her face was pleasant, giving off a soothing vibe. She made spending money here feel worth it. Name, Yi Sinyu. Age, 23. Height, 168 centimeters. Overall attractiveness, 89. Favorability, 12. Current status, active, working diligently. So close, yet so far, Chen couldn't help but mutter to himself. Her attractiveness rating was stuck at 89, just shy of the 90 required to qualify as a goddess. But no matter, he'd focus on the cashback rewards first. Chapter 4, The Allure of Money. The display cases were filled with a variety of products, prominently showcasing LV's signature logo. This is our latest short-sleeve beaded series from LV this year, trendy and vibrant. And here's an embroidered cotton t-shirt, simple yet elegant. You'd look great in it. Sir, you can feel the fabric quality yourself. See if you like it. Sinyu smiled as she introduced the items, then picked up a shirt and offered it to him. Chen was a bit surprised. The cold reception he anticipated didn't materialize. Instead, the service here was quite decent, and she made him feel respected and welcomed. He felt none of the disdain often described in stories about luxury stores. Maybe those were just rumors. Or perhaps he was simply lucky. Chen casually examined the clothes. The fabric and craftsmanship were excellent, top quality. Although the price was high, which wasn't exactly economical, this was, after all, a premium global brand. What mattered here was the prestige. With money in hand, why not indulge a little? Not bad, Chen said, satisfaction evident in his smile. Sensing a potential sale, Sinyu quickly pressed on, so, which one do you prefer? I can wrap it up for you. Which one? Chen glanced at her and replied casually, I'll take both. Also, choose another 8 items based on your judgment, to make it an even 10. Then come with me to look at other options. What? Sinyu's jaw practically dropped. She thought he would ask for the prices, then pick his favorite. But instead, he was buying both and asked her to pick 8 more? More shopping after this. This guy was seriously extravagant. Sir, you're not joking, right? These clothes aren't cheap, you know, Sinyu cautioned, barely hiding her surprise. Just choosing 10 items could cost at least 100,000 yuan. Could Su Chen, who didn't look particularly wealthy, really have that kind of spending power? Expensive? Su Chen, caught off guard by her question, glanced at the tag and breathed a sigh of relief. It's only 12,000. Go ahead. With his 500,000 yuan cashback limit, this was comfortably within his budget. Got it. I'll start picking them out right away, Sinew replied enthusiastically, and promptly began selecting outfits for him. She showed each choice to Su Chen for his approval, making sure he was satisfied with every selection. Her taste was impeccable. Su Chen loved her choices. Meanwhile, Su Chen enjoyed the experience from a nearby couch, only needing to nod his approval occasionally. By this point, a few female sales assistants had noticed the situation, whispering with curious and envious glances. Upon hearing of his big purchase, even the store manager personally brought him tea. The service was flawless. Once the clothing was chosen, Sinew began picking matching trousers and, not long after, the clothing was complete. However, since the spending had reached his desired amount, Su Chen added some shoes, belts, and necklaces to hit 500,000 yuan. He had accumulated a mountain of merchandise, drawing stares from other shoppers. Bro, are you here to stock up? Some of the female staff looked on with envy. Just think of the commission Sinew would make. She hit the jackpot. When it came time to pay, Su Chen and Sinew went to the counter. After verifying everything, the cashier smiled. Sir, your total is 486,000 yuan. Please swipe your card here. This amount was close enough to his 500,000 yuan cashback limit. As he swiped his card, the system immediately prompted a notification. Ding! Your 486,000 yuan purchase has triggered a cashback reward. Congratulations! Your cashback multiplier is 3x. You've received a cashback reward of 1,458,000 yuan. Su Chen pulled out his phone to check his balance. Your account has been credited with 1,458,000 yuan. Current balance, 1,468,490.28 yuan. His balance now exceeded a million. It felt incredible. And this was only the reward for reaching 60 favorability points with Lin Shuyuan. What kind of reward could he expect at higher levels? He couldn't help but feel excited. Beside him, Sinew Yi was overjoyed, her cheeks flushing with excitement. Her initial worries about a last-minute issue had vanished. Now, looking at Su Chen more closely, she found him strikingly young and handsome. Ding! Sinew Yi's favorability with you plus 20. Su Chen was baffled. Wait, what? Why was Sinew Yi's favorability suddenly spiking by 20 points? With a bright smile, Sinew sweetly suggested, Mr. Su, would you like to try on one of the outfits I selected for you to see how it looks? If there is anything you don't like, we can always swap it out. Su Chen noticed her attitude had shifted. She was no longer simply courteous but now genuinely warm, even a bit flirtatious. Was this the power of money? Curious, he decided to try on the outfit to see what a designer label would feel like. A moment later, Su Chen stepped out of the fitting room. Tall and handsome, with a platinum necklace gleaming around his neck, his whole look radiated confidence and a hint of rugged charm. The designer clothes fit him perfectly, giving him a noble, almost princely aura. The saleswomen's eyes sparkled with admiration as they covered their mouths in awe. Wow, Mr. Su, you look amazing. You're a masterpiece, truly handsome. Sinew's eyes shone as she admired him. She checked him out from every angle, finding him irresistibly charming. And it was true, Su Chen's looks were undeniably outstanding. When he first joined Simple Media, they wanted him to work as an attractive influencer, but he chose to scout talent instead because of his reserved personality. So, being complimented on his looks didn't bother him. He accepted the praise with a smile. Sinew gushed, Mr. Su, you look so good. Many of our brand ambassadors aren't half as handsome as you. Amused, Su Chen glanced at himself in the mirror. Alright, I might be a little good looking, but I'm not as amazing as you say. Yes, you are. You're just too modest. Sinew eagerly held up her phone. Could I take some photos of you? I'd love to show you off on my social media. Su Chen chuckled at her excitement, but in his good mood, he agreed. Sinew wasted no time, snapping numerous photos. As she eagerly took pictures, Su Chen's phone kept buzzing with system notifications. Ding! Sinew Yi's favorability plus 10. Ding! Sinew Yi's favorability plus 10. In no time, her favorability level with him reached 65. Chen chuckled inwardly, shaking his head. Favorability points without rewards were a little pointless, and they seemed to pile up far too easily. System, can you lower the goddess standard just a bit? Why make it so tough? Chapter 5: An Unexpected Surprise. IFC Shopping Mall. Chen walked in front, carrying an LV bag in one hand casually. The remaining items were carried by Yixinyu and another female shopping guide. Originally, the LV flagship store provided door-to-door delivery service, but Chen refused because he thought it was too troublesome and asked them to help carry the goods downstairs. Along the way, it attracted countless people's attention. Many people looked at Chen with envy. Who doesn't he like the feeling of financial freedom? Chen also suddenly realized that he seemed to have become the kind of person he hated the most when he was a child, a rich person. Yixinyu is in a very good mood now, with a beautiful smile on her pretty face. She had just closed a large order and a rough calculation showed that she could get a commission of more than 20,000 yuan, which was really great. At the same time, she also developed a strong curiosity about Chen. Walk to the entrance of IFC. That's it, you can go back now. Chen took the things and prepared to take a taxi back later. Yixinyu mustered up her courage and said, "Mr. Su, how about we add my WeChat ID? If you need anything in the future, you can contact me at any time." Okay. Chen added her prestige. Maybe if I need to customize LV in the future, I can also take care of her business. At least today, she did bring Chen a pleasant shopping experience. Then, Yixinyu happily held her phone and went back with her colleagues. Chen called a taxi, and while waiting for the car, he casually flipped through Yixinyu's WeChat moments. Wow, this little girl is quite conceited. Her circle of friends contains many exquisite photos of her daily life, and it is obvious that she has a very high quality of life. In the past, it would have been difficult for Chen to get in touch with women of this level, let alone be actively asked to add her prestige. But today, everything has become easy. Oh my god, there are actually benefits. Chen's eyes lit up, he became energetic, and began to appreciate it with great interest. This is a set of photos from Sonia, Nanhai. Yixinyu wore a bikini swimsuit with very little fabric, confidently showing off her slim figure and charming curves. There is also a girl with a baby-like appearance, whose body is incredibly hot. The tight one-piece swimsuit tightly wraps her amazingly full body, showing her proud curves, which are fully E. It makes people want to indulge in her gentleness and feel her softness and beauty. Moreover, she is very beautiful, and looks obedient, delicate and cute. This appearance forms a strong contrast with her superb figure, which makes people want to bully her tilde. This pair of top-notch sisters are simply little succubi on earth. It's too hot tilde. TSK, who can stand this? Chen couldn't hold it anymore. Suddenly, a prompt sound rang. Ding! The system is automatically detecting. New goddess character card has been activated. Name, Xiaomian. Age, 21. Body, height 168 centimeters, 36 E. Overall appearance, 94 points. Favorability, unknown. Current status, unknown. Chen was surprised. This was truly a pleasant surprise. He never expected that by looking at Yixinyu's circle of friends, he could actually find a new goddess. This means that you can get more favorability rewards. It's so cool. It's so cool. That's right. We must find a way to contact her, otherwise everything is bullshit. Thinking of this, Chen opened the chat window with Yixinyu. Little Leaf, Mr. Su, please take care of me in the future. Well. Chen hesitated for a moment, edited a message and sent it. LV flagship store. Several female shopping guides surrounded Yixinyu enviously, talking about her enthusiastically. Wow Sinyu, you are so lucky to have met a tall, rich and handsome guy. It's rare to see such a generous customer. Yes, for this big order, Sinyu, you can get at least 20,000 yuan in commission. I'm so envious. Well, you must seize this opportunity. If you can become his girlfriend, you will be very successful and become a wealthy lady in the future. Sinyu, you are so beautiful, there will definitely be a chance if you pursue him. Be bold and take the initiative. A man can't refuse to burn it. Don't miss such a good opportunity. The female shopping guides all started to cheer and offer suggestions to help their sister find such a good match. Yi Sinyu blushed and felt a little embarrassed. Okay, Tilder, stop teasing me, this is not even a clue. Having said that, she did have some longing in her heart and wanted to get to know Su Chen more deeply. If she feels that she is really suitable for the other person, then what if she takes the initiative? At this moment, the cell phone in her hand suddenly vibrated. The female colleague was sharp-eyed and exclaimed, Sinyu, Mr. Su has replied to your message. Come and take a look with us and we will give you some advice. Oh, okay. Yi Sinyu came back to her senses and casually opened the chat interface on her phone. A piece of news came into everyone's view. Mr. Su, does your bestie have a boyfriend? Can you introduce her to me? This. Yi Sinyu. Female colleagues. Everyone was stunned and the atmosphere suddenly became awkward. Chapter 6, Dating Her. Night falls. Inside the simple rental house. Su Chen was lying on the sofa, bored and watching the hot dance videos of the beautiful anchor. His profession is a scout for internet celebrities, and finding female anchors is his job. In addition, the system has just been activated today, and adding new goddesses is his top priority now. In the video, they twist their waists with charming expressions, trying their best to please every passionate young man watching in front of the camera. With the help of technology such as beauty filters, they look very pleasing to the eye. Unfortunately, there has been no new movement in the system. Obviously, none of these women meet their goddess standard assessed by the system. But there is good news. Yi Sinyu still promised Su Chen that she would introduce her best friend, Chia Mian, to him. She was a 94-point scoring goddess with a baby face, which gave him some expectations. He glanced at his deposit and a smile appeared on his face. I made over $1 million today, feeling pretty good. When I make a little more money, I'll buy a car and a house and leave this damn place. Su Chen was thinking in his heart and preparing to get up, take a shower and go to bed. Unexpectedly, the system popped up a prompt. Ding! The goddess favorability mission is activated. Name, Lin Shuyer. Age, 26. Body, height 171 centimeters, goddess, peach buttocks. Overall appearance, 97 points. Favorability, 62. Current status, I'm under a lot of work pressure and I really want to indulge myself. Any mission. Su Chen was originally a little sleepy, but immediately became alert. 1. I see you're very tired lately, would you like to go and have some fun with me? 2. You haven't finished get off work yet. I'll come to the company and give you a massage to relieve your stress. 3. Are you off work? I miss you. Can we go for a drive and see the night view together? Seeing these three options, Su Chen was a little confused. Originally, he thought that as the manager of Jian Shong Media, Lin Shuyer had a high salary and her job should be easy and motivated. But if you think about it carefully, she is under a lot of pressure. Many people were eyeing her position, and she had hardly any vacation time in the 3 months since taking office, working overtime every day. With such high-intensity work, all the machines will be scrapped. How could she, a woman, bear it? So, which one should I choose? Su Chen fell into deep thought. It's probably not realistic to go to her company to give her a massage. How about going to see the night view or take a ride? Can it relieve her stress? The effect doesn't seem to be that obvious. So, eliminating the two undesirable answers, only the first option is left. Su Chen made up his mind and bravely sent a message to Lin Shuyer. At the same time, in the manager's office, the beautiful woman looked at the night view outside the window. Her pretty face seemed a little decadent. She was really tired during this period, feeling exhausted both physically and mentally, and her nerves were tense. Moreover, she also knew that if she wanted to maintain her current position, she had no choice but to work harder than others. After you get through this period, you'll be able to relax a little bit. Just hang in there. Lin Shuyer encouraged herself and forced a smile. At this moment, her cell phone vibrated. When I picked it up, I saw that the person who sent the message was Su Chen. Su Chen, I see you're very tired recently, do you want to go and indulge yourself with me? Lin Shuyer frowned slightly, with a look of surprise in her eyes. She has been under a lot of pressure recently and really wants to find a chance to relax, but she has no outlet to vent, which makes her very depressed. The appearance of Su Chen completely ignited the flame of desire deep in her heart. But, how come he is so brave? You don't want your job anymore, right? Lin Shuyer lowered her eyes and replied, Brat, is it because I didn't punish you today that you are getting more aggressive? Ding! Lin Shuyer's favorability towards you +1. Su Chen raised the corner of his mouth and continued, Boss Lin, I am serious about my feelings for you. Please consider what I said today. I promise that our relationship will not be known to anyone. Lin Shuyer was silent for a moment and had a fierce ideological struggle. In the end, she accepted Su Chen's invitation. Half an hour later. The night is quiet at the entrance of the community. Su Chen leaned against the wall, gazing ahead with deep eyes. A black Cadillac CT6 slowly drove over. The car window was rolled down. Lin Shuyer's beautiful face emerged, and when she saw the familiar young man outside the window, her eyes lit up. Su Chen's image has already been completely renewed. It was very different from the impression she had on him, and he had an extraordinary temperament. Looks more sunny and handsome. Lin Shuyer felt that she was valued, but her face remained calm. Su Chen, get in the car. Su Chen opened the car door and sat in the passenger seat. The unique fragrance inside the car is charming and intoxicating. Lin Shuyer tilted her head and said in a cold voice, Stinky boy, I told you in advance that my acceptance of your invitation does not mean that I agree to have an underground relationship with you. I just find work boring and boring, do you understand? She had put on makeup tonight and looked very charming, especially under the dim light in the car. Su Chen nodded, I know, I'm not worthy of you. Lin Shuyer's mouth drooped, and she felt that her tone seemed a little too harsh, and then she became a little gentler. Tell me, where do you want to take me to fool around tonight? Favorability mission tips, go to the bar with her and indulge yourself in the world of luxury and debauchery. Complete your encounter with her. Su Chen said, let's go to Modern Palace. Modern Heavenly Palace. Lin Shuyer was slightly startled, this looks like a bar. Su Chen nodded and said as a matter of course, you said you wanted to hang out with me, so it should make sense for us to go to a bar, right? Okay, I can't tell at ordinary times that you are such a bold boy, ho. Lin Shuyer felt a little surprised, and a beautiful curve appeared at the corner of her mouth. Then select Modern Palace as the navigation location. The vehicle starts. Soft music played. The beautiful atmosphere is mixed with an ambiguous feeling. Looking at the stunning woman next to him, the black lace dress that wraps her slim figure makes her look full and straight, and her beautiful legs wearing black stockings, the beauty inside makes people imagine more. Su Chen was a little dazed for a moment. Before this, Lin Shuyer was his immediate superior, a sacred being who was high above him and could only be admired from afar. But now, he activated the system. Everything changes. Lin Shuyer is actually dating him. In the past, Su Chen would not even dare to dream about it, but now everything has become a reality. He also fantasized about putting his hand on the thigh of the girl sitting in the passenger seat of a luxury car, like those rich guys did. Noticing his gaze, Lin Shuyer smiled charmingly and teased playfully, does it look good? Are you thinking of getting your hands on it already? However, she hadn't waited for the other party's answer. But he found that Su Chen had already put his big hand up. The soft and smooth touch of skin makes people indulge in it. Lin Shuyer only felt numb all over, as if a nerve was touched. Hello. You bastard. I was just kidding you, how dare you do that? She frowned slightly and gave Su Chen a cold, deathly look. Threat, warning. Feel sorry. Su Chen came back to his senses and gave a somewhat embarrassed smile at his previous gaffe. Don't blame the brother for being a bad person, just blame the sister for being too charming. He was distracted just now and couldn't resist the temptation, so he just went for it. Unexpectedly, it caused the other party to be disgusted. This is bad. I'm afraid my favorability will drop. Su Chen felt a little sad and depressed. Unexpectedly, another prompt popped up. Ding! Their host and Lin Shuyer have their first intimate interaction, favorability +2. Su Chen. This. He was completely confused and couldn't help but secretly observe Lin Shuyer's reaction. I noticed that the corners of the other person's mouth were slightly raised, revealing a hint of smile, and it was obvious that he was not displeased at all. Really? Women are creatures that he can never figure out. Chapter 7 Brother System, you are cheating me. Modern Heavenly Palace. One of the top bars in Wei High. People start their nightlife here. Dazzling psychedelic light swayed, music was blasting, and the air was filled with the smell of cigarettes and alcohol. Men and women on the dance floor twist their bodies and release their hormones. Under the guidance of the waiter, Chen came to a private box he had reserved in advance. The ceiling has a brilliant and fantastic starry sky, with light beams reflecting each other, and the decoration is exquisite and luxurious. The atmosphere is full. Lin Shuyer sat next to Chen, her long legs in black stockings elegantly crossed, looking charming and attractive. She was very beautiful, even prettier than those big bosses, rich second generations, socialites and young models the waiter had seen, but the latter did not dare to linger on her for too long, so as to avoid consequences that he cannot bear. The waiter brought the menu and said with a smile, "Sir, madam, what would you like to order?" Chen took a quick look and began to order casually, "Give me a bottle of this wine, and these fruit plates and snacks, please." Men should be independent and take the lead in a date. Being overly considerate of the other person's feelings may seem caring, but it is actually stupid. The waiter was stunned for a moment, then confirmed, "Are you sure you want this bottle of Remy Martin Louis XIII? Remy Martin Louis XIII is no ordinary wine. One bottle costs 49,800 yuan. Chen looked indifferent, as if the 50,000 yuan was nothing to him. The smile on the waiter's face became brighter. "It seems like I've met a big boss. The attitude is more respectful." "Yes, sir. I'll calculate it for you. Your total consumption is 54,600 yuan. After deducting the 10,000 yuan you previously reserved, you only need to pay 44,600 yuan. Are you paying by card or online?" Hearing this, Chen took out his bank card and said calmly, "Just spend 50,000. We'll talk about the rest later. Pay the bill." The waiter handed the receipt to Chen. "Sir, if you need anything else, you can always tell us. Have fun tonight." After saying this, he nodded respectfully, turned around and left with a smile on his face. However, Lin Shuyer, who was sitting next to her, was already stunned. She was afraid of embarrassing Chen, so she didn't say anything. "Chen, it's not easy for you to make money, why did you spend so much tonight? This is 60,000 yuan. Do you want to live from now on?" As her boss, she naturally knew Chen's income. In Weihai, a city with high consumption, it is questionable whether Chen can save 3,000 yuan a month after deducting his own expenses. Now, it costs 60,000 yuan all at once. This is not a small number. Only 60,000, is that a lot? I can make millions every minute now. What's so great about this little money? So arrogant. 2, if you think it's expensive, then split the bill. Otherwise, just shut up. With a look of disdain. 3, money can be earned again if lost, but tonight is my first date with you, I want a beautiful start, a memory that belongs only to us. Deeply affectionate. Without giving it too much thought, Chen looked at the charming woman in front of him affectionately and said in a deep voice, "You can earn money again if you lose it, but tonight is my first date with you. I want a beautiful start and a memory that belongs to us alone." Hearing this, Lin Shuyer's eyes flickered and her heart seemed to be tightened. "I know how you feel about me, but you are really too impulsive. No. I'd better tell them to return the wine." She thought about it seriously and decided to get up and go find the waiter. Seeing this, Chen grabbed her wrist and said quickly, "Sister Shuyer, I have ordered everything, just listen to my arrangements, okay? Believe me, if I can spend so much, I have the ability to earn it back." "Really?" Lin Shuyer looked at his confident expression and chuckled with interest. "If I hadn't known that your performance this month was the worst, I would have almost believed it. But, you are right, aren't we working hard to make money just for consumption? My sister is happy today." Having said that, she sat back on the sofa, opened the WeChat chat window with Chen, and started transferring money. "Lin Shuyer transfers 20,000 yuan to you. Lin Shuyer transfers 20,000 yuan to you. Lin Shuyer transfers 20,000 yuan to you. What are you doing?" Chen was dumbfounded. If she gave him money, it would be like she was paying for it herself, and then the favorability mission would not be completed. "Can't you see? My sister is paying for it, idiot." Lin Shuyer had a beaming smile on her face, with a hint of pride in her expression. Because in her opinion, Chen's spending of 60,000 yuan was just a penny squeezed out of toothpaste, but her salary was very high, so taking out 60,000 yuan was normal and harmless. Who knows? Chen directly clicked the refund button. "Of course I see that, but there is no need for this." Lin Shuyer didn't understand and said domineeringly, No, you little brat, why are you so stubborn? You won't even accept the money I gave you. Chen raised the corner of his mouth and chuckled, do I look like a gigolo? Well. Lin Shuyer looked at the handsome Chen and answered seriously, yes. Chen. No, is it my problem that I am handsome? Who can I go to for justice? Ding. Lin Shuyer's favorability with you +3, current favorability 68 points. Fortunately, the favorability has increased. Not long after, there was a commotion at the door of the box. DJ music suddenly became exciting and stirring. The waiter held a black and gold gift box, which contained a bottle of champagne in an amber crystal bottle. 8 sexy bunny girls, holding up a Louis XIII sign, walked in with their long beautiful legs. A beautiful DJ girl wearing a belly-bearing top and super short shorts took over the stage and shouted at the top of her cute voice. Congratulations, Mr. Su, for choosing Remy Martin Louis XIII. I wish you great wealth and success. Then the salute was fired and exploded in the air. Bang bang bang. The flying sequins, ribbons and banknotes props are dazzling. It's like a grand ceremony. Is this the feeling of living a life of luxury and extravagance? Chen was amazed. He had never seen such a scene before. A moment later, the originally empty table was filled with wine, fruit plates, and snacks. The most eye-catching of them was naturally the bottle of Louis XIII. After saying hello, the waiter led the bunny girls out one after another. The noise ends. The young and beautiful DJ girl was still on the stage, playing discs hard and greeting people enthusiastically. Sirs and madams, I am Yao Yao, your exclusive DJ for tonight. If you want to listen to any song, please let me know. Chen smiled at her and didn't take it too seriously. But the system suddenly popped up a prompt. Ding! New goddess character card detected. Name, Meng Xiao. Age, 19. Body, 166 centimeters tall, top grade white fox. Overall appearance, 92 points. Favorability, 17. Current status, verb to play, so distressed, when will these days of DJing end? Puff. The best white fox. Or goddess level. Chen was a little surprised, and this really got him into trouble. Before he could react, Lin Shuyer's cold and charming voice rang in his ears, oh tilde so Master Su likes little gangster girls. Ding! Lin Shuyer's favorability with you 1. Brother system, are you trying to trick me? Chapter 8 Beauty, I can tell fortunes. 1. Har har, you found out all this. What man doesn't he like young and pretty girls? I want to go over and get some prestige. Putting my hands on my hips, I'm so proud of myself. 2. How is that possible? Baby tilde I love you the most. Spoiling. 3. Someone seems jealous. The guest becomes their host. At this moment, the beautiful President Lin Shuyer's jealous look was really cute. Chen couldn't help but smile, oh, so Sister Shuyer is jealous. Where is that? Lin Shuyer denied it flatly and said proudly, I saw you staring at the girl and almost became obsessed with her. Why don't I dig out your eyes and send them over to take a good look at her? Chen was startled and couldn't help but clear his throat. The beautiful CEO always wants to dig out your eyes, who can stand it? He frowned and a plan came to his mind. What are you talking about? I was thinking about whether to recruit her to our company as a host. You say, pretty girl DJ, does she have traffic? Can she make money? If we could really recruit Meng Xiao, this little girl who hasn't even fully grown her hair, into the company. That means the one who is closest to the water gets the moon first. Wouldn't it be a matter of minutes to increase the favorability? Maybe there is still a chance to find out her depth. Is that so? Then you are quite ambitious. Lin Shuyer's eyes flickered as she analyzed, there are indeed similar anchors on the internet now, but if you want to quickly realize the value, you have to invest a lot of resources, which is not ideal. The best model is to let her broadcast live while she is working. But most bars will not agree to this. Yeah, then forget it. Chen nodded, thinking it made sense. He currently has Lin Shuyer, and he hasn't dealt with her yet. Still want to eat from the bowl while looking at the pot. Although it might be a pity to miss it. But people still have to know how to make choices. Seeing this, Lin Shuyer smiled appreciatively, don't be discouraged, you can leave her contact information, maybe things will turn around. Now, Chen was a little panicked. You want me to add other girls' prestige? Is it fake? Are you testing me? No, I don't want to make you jealous. Chen refused weakly. Be good. Listen to me, this is work. Lin Shuyer looked at the pretty girl who was working hard on the DJ set and said with a smile, who knows, that girl might become a big internet celebrity in the future. If you become her mentor, you will become famous in the talent scout circle. Chen was confused. I always feel like she is coaxing a child. I have no evidence. Ding. Lin Shuyer's favorability with you +3, currently 70 points. Ambiguous. Oh my god. Is she really not angry? An increased favorability? Stimulate. Okay, have a drink first, I'll be right back. Although Chen was excited, he still looked like he was forced to do their work and stood up and walked towards the DJ booth. Thanks for your hard work. Chen greeted her first and looked at her closely. Meng Xiao has a delicate look, and is playful and cute. Although she is young, she is dressed very hotly, with a belly-bearing top and ultra-short shorts, revealing her long, white legs. When she sways her body to the music, her plump breasts tremble, and she exudes the breath of a young girl. And she also has that special physique. Thank you for your concern, Mr. Su. This is my job. Meng Xiao smiled innocently, but her pretty face couldn't help but turn red. Because she always felt that her secret had been discovered. Chen said calmly, add my prestige, and I'll order you next time I come to the bar. Great. Meng Xiao picked up the phone and quickly added Chen on WeChat. Her ID is DJ Yao Yao. The profile picture was a selfie of her, and she playfully made a yeah gesture. Chen pressed his phone and directly transferred 2,000 yuan to him. This is a tip for you as a reward for your hard work tonight. Wow tilde. Meng Xiao's eyes instantly turned into stars, and she exclaimed, Mr. Su, thank you. Thank you so much. I will perform a rap song for you right now, here comes the god of wealth. Ding. Meng Xiao's favorability towards you +5. Okay. Chen achieved his goal and quickly returned to Lin Shuyer. In the box, Meng Xiao's enthusiastic voice was heard, I wish young Master Su good luck and good fortune. I wish you all the best. Lin Shuyer took a sip of the wine, her fair neck was as noble and elegant as a swan. She also imitated Meng Xiao's cute tone and deliberately teased, that's okay, Mr. Su, you know to tip. Chen, you can't catch a wolf without sacrificing a lamb. How can we trick her into joining our company if we don't show her the strength of our company? Yeah, you're the smart one. Lin Shuyer nodded, but her smile was a little cunning. Because she felt that Chen most likely would not be able to recruit this girl, she said that just now just to encourage Chen's ambition. Shuyer, let's drink. Let's not talk about this anymore. Chen raised his glass and looked at her calmly. Lin Shuyer also let go of herself, clinked glasses with him, and then drank it all in one gulp. As the mellow alcohol went down their throats, their bodies gradually became hot. The lights are bright and the atmosphere is gradually filled with charm. After a moment, both of them were a little tipsy and their actions became more intimate. Chen naturally took Lin Shuyer's fair hand. The wonderful touch of it, as soft as boneless, made him unable to let go. I can read palms and tell fortunes. Beautiful lady, do you want to tell your career or your marriage? Tell it all to your sister. Lin Shuyer held her cheeks and looked at Chen quietly. The more she looked at him, the more pleasing and handsome he seemed to her. All the depression and pressure were swept away. Chen began to talk nonsense seriously. Okay, let's start with career. Your career is on the rise now. In the future, you will become the boss of a media company. As for your marriage, your Mr. Right has already appeared. Hiss, this person's name is incredible. Let me calculate it for you. It's 2 characters. What a coincidence. What you are missing in the 5 elements, this person's name happens to have it. But as for what you are missing, the secret cannot be revealed, so I'll have to trouble Sister Shuyer to use her smart brain. He looked so calm and composed, like an old charlatan, which was a bit funny. Lin Shuyer was amused. Her beautiful and charming face was full of charm. Why don't you just say your own name? It's an amazing name. She complained coquettishly, then curiously wrote on Chen's palm with her fingertips. I'd like to hear what you think is missing from my life. Su is the grass radical with a ban under it, and Chen is the sun radical. So I'm missing. Suddenly, she seemed to realize something, her pretty face flushed and she cursed. Su Chen, you big pervert. Then, she picked up Su Chen's big hand and bit it hard. Su Chen cried out in pain. Seeing his miserable appearance, Lin Shuyer finally got her revenge and said triumphantly, HMPH, see if you dare to bully me again. If you dare to act like a shaman next time, I'll bite you to death. Who knows? Su Chen was not afraid at all, instead he challenged, that's it? Didn't you eat dinner? Try harder next time. Lin Shuyer got angry, stinky brother, who are you looking down on? The next moment, she pounced directly on Su Chen. Chapter 9 Her past, and his determination. Lin Shuyer pounced on Su Chen, and her pair of seductive long legs in black stockings wrapped around him. Her tight skirt was stretched open by this action, inadvertently revealing the charming white lace. She is as charming as a fox, releasing her wildness, and is simply enchanting to the core. Lin Shuyer wanted to bend down to attack the man, but Su Chen held her hands tightly. She struggled and pouted. Brother, please let me go and let me bite you again. Otherwise, I will be angry. She looked down at Su Chen with a menacing look, as if she would attack him at any time. Su Chen had no choice but to let go. He shouldn't have provoked this woman. That's good. Lin Shuyer smiled triumphantly, and rubbed against Su Chen like a charming little fox, and bit his shoulder with a "Arwu." The angle of this posture made Su Chen's eyes widen and his blood boiled. He could just see her beautiful back, her sexy and enchanting waist, her S-shaped figure, and her round and perky peach buttocks, which was a real feast for the eyes. He really wanted to feel that beauty filled with desire. 1. Press her down on the sofa, pull off her skirt, and treat her roughly. 2. He then puts his arm around her waist and kisses her tenderly, deepening his love for her. 3. The time has not come yet. Be patient for now. Damn, which one should I choose? Su Chen was a little excited, but also a little conflicted. If you choose the wrong option, it will cause the other party to be disgusted, and then all your efforts will be wasted. As soon as he made up his mind to choose, Lin Shuyer stood up, sat back next to him, and adjusted her skirt. He, let's see if you dare to be presumptuous again. Lin Shuyer said proudly. I don't dare. Su Chen smiled awkwardly and could only choose the third option. Forbearance. After playing around, Lin Shuyer was a little out of breath due to exhaustion, but she was in a particularly happy mood at the moment. The previous negative emotions have long been swept away. Current state, happy, pleased, relaxed. She drank a glass of wine, leaned on the man's shoulder while drunk. Her pretty face was as red as a peach, fresh and juicy. She looked at the man thoughtfully, and asked with her cherry lips slightly parted, Su Chen, do you want to know more about me? I'm in a good mood today, so I can satisfy your little curiosity. 1. Which do you think tastes better, black peach tea or pomelo peach tea? 2. I want to know about your family. 3. I want to know what happened to you during your college years. Su Chen was shocked. He had heard some rumors and knew that something very sensational happened to Lin Shuyer during her college years, which had a great impact on her. At that time, Lin Shuyer was a celebrity at Kyoto Media College and one of the 3 most beautiful girls on campus, so naturally she had countless suitors. But Lin Shuyer is very career-oriented. When others are busy dating, she has already started to pursue her career. With her outstanding looks, singing, broadcasting and other talents, she took advantage of the internet trend and quickly accumulated hundreds of thousands of fans on the Shark live streaming platform. I thought everything would go smoothly until a rich second-generation suitor showed up. In one night, she spent more than 3 million. Su Chen was not clear about the specific ins and outs of the matter. All I know is that since then, Lin Shuyer has been branded with a bad name and all kinds of insulting labels have been attached to her. A girl who flirts with a rich man, and a man who meets a rich man offline. Su Chen hesitated for a moment and said, I want to know what happened to you in college. Can you tell me about it? You really want to know? Lin Shuyer was stunned and a little surprised. Everyone around her thought that this matter was a taboo for her and did not dare to mention it in front of her. But only she knew that she was more wronged and aggrieved than anyone else. The feeling of being depressed and having nowhere to vent made her so uncomfortable. Su Chen said firmly, I want to know everything about you, whether it is good or bad, I am willing to face it with you. Hearing this, The gloom on Lin Shuyer's face disappeared, and she chuckled. Well, where should I start? Let's start from the time when I was a host. She recalled the past and began to tell the story. Her voice is that cold and charming voice of a queen, and listening to her speak is like listening to a late-night radio station. When I first started as a streamer, I was still a complete newbie. I gave myself a very childish name, Nangong Yayer. I'm lucky. I happened to be in the right place at the right time for the internet. Every day I sing songs for my fans and tell them horror stories. I live a happy and fulfilling life every day. In just half a year, I went from being a small anchor to accumulating more than 300,000 fans, and I can earn an average of 30,000 to 40,000 yuan a month. I really thought my life was going to change completely, but until that person showed up, everything was ruined. There was a ripple in her calm eyes. Su Chen's heart also tightened. Lin Shuyer continued, his family runs an entertainment company and is very rich. He gave me a total of 3.65 million that night, saying that he simply admired me. That's 3.65 million. I come from an ordinary family and have never seen so much money. I felt flattered and excited and couldn't sleep all night. The next day, he invited me to meet him offline, saying it was just a simple dinner, nothing else, and asked me not to think too much about it. I admit that I was naive at the time, so I went. When we got there, he told me that he wanted to bring me into the entertainment industry. I immediately came to my senses and realized that there is no such thing as a free lunch. So I made an excuse to him and said I needed to go back and think about it. As a result, he sent me directly to the hotel entrance and invited me to sit up. I thought to myself, I don't like him, how can I sell myself out for money? I couldn't get over this hurdle in my heart. So I ran away. She spoke with such emotion that Su Chen seemed to be there himself. He could imagine how panicked she would be when she encountered such a thing. That guy is really a mean guy. He actually wanted to deceive the inexperienced Lin Shuyer. Fortunately, Lin Shuyer was very smart and was able to stay rational and stick to her principles at that time. If it were an ordinary girl, she would have surrendered long ago, right? Then what? Then. Lin Shuyer shook her head and laughed coldly. That guy was furious and asked me to return the money after I got back. I promised to return the other half after deducting the platform fee, but he was not satisfied and asked me to return the entire 3 million yuan. I'm not stupid, how could I agree to such an unreasonable request? As a result, he started to spread rumors about me. The rumors were so overwhelming that I felt like I couldn't breathe. My reputation was completely ruined at that moment. She let out a long sigh and finally spoke out what had been weighing on her heart for a long time. Su Chen felt his teeth itching after hearing this. He knew that Lin Shuyer was a woman with a strong sense of self-esteem and she stuck to her principles. Reputation is absolutely crucial for girls. If they cannot withstand the psychological pressure, they may even become depressed and have thoughts of suicide. Now, Lin Shuyer not only survived, but also took the position of general manager. It is truly admirable. She is a perfect example of a heroine. But the man who destroyed her when he couldn't get her and made her bear such a bad reputation really deserves to die. Su Chen felt angry just thinking about it, and grabbed her hand and said seriously, Shu Ya, don't worry. I will definitely help you get revenge in the future. Silly you, it's all over. Lin Shuyer's heart trembled, and she stretched out her slender hand to touch the man's handsome face, as if she saw her once innocent and high-spirited self. Although she hated and was very angry. But the other party is worth tens of billions and has a huge family business. How can they compete with him? Su Chen had already made up his mind that he must vent Lin Shuyer's anger and make that person pay 100 times the price. Otherwise, can I still be called a man? But we must start from now on and accumulate our strength. Please trust me. Su Chen's gaze remained extremely firm. Yeah. Lin Shuyer nodded gently, looking at the man's resolute and handsome face. The look of him being willing to give everything for her moved her heart. Su Chen, you said you like me today. Then why don't you call me sister and make me happy? She looked at Su Chen, her pretty face as red as a peach under the influence of alcohol. Su Chen looked at her so beautifully, his throat became dry. Sister. You sound so nice, I'm very happy today, you're lucky. Lin Shuyer lowered her voice and said in Su Chen's ear in a charming and royal voice, but you must remember that our secret is not to be told to anyone. Su Chen nodded, his heart already pounding. She felt Su Chen's hot beating heart, held his chest, leaned down and kissed him. Their lips touched, and a tingling sensation spread throughout their bodies. After several attempts, Chen temporarily took the lead and tried to guide the other party. Breathing blending. The softness of the tongue tip entwines and touches in the warmth. Lin Shuyer closed her beautiful eyes, hugged his arms tightly, and couldn't help making a humming sound. Her body was so nervous that it was trembling. It was obvious that she was unfamiliar with this situation. However, due to her strong personality, she still wanted to take back the dominant position that belonged to her. Chen then realized that Lin Shuyer had no kissing experience at all. Chapter 10 Humph, you just bully me tilde. After a long time, their lips parted. Lin Shuyer's face flushed like a peach blossom, and she lay quietly on the man's shoulder. Chen's big hands felt the silky softness of her beautiful black silk legs. This wonderful touch was simply irresistible. Ding! Your favorability with Lin Shuyer +5. Current favorability is 75. Brother Chen, let's go back. Sister is drunk and passed out. Lin Shuyer's voice was as soft as a mosquito's hum, and she rubbed Chen's shoulder like a little fox, looking like a delicate woman who couldn't handle the alcohol. Which man can resist such intimacy? Okay, I'll arrange it. Chen took out his mobile phone and operated it, while his other hand was around her slender waist, enjoying himself. Her figure is really amazing, with curvy body and no extra fat. It's so comfortable to hold tilde. In the Cadillac CT6. The female driver asked with a smile. Where are we going, sir? The Bulgari Hotel nearby. Okay. The female driver nodded, gave an I understand smile, and started the car. Lin Shuyer frowned, pinched Chen's waist hard, and whispered angrily, Bad brother, I said go back and rest, you actually arranged for us to go to the hotel directly, huh? Who gave you the courage? Chen felt aggrieved and said weakly, don't I know your home address? Then you can ask, why not? Lin Shuyer asked back unreasonably. Chen knew that girls were actually pretending to be reserved at times like this, and he must not point it out. If she really wanted to go home, she would have communicated with the designated driver long ago. Why would she be arguing with me here? Chen pursed his lips and said innocently, I'm a bit stupid and can't think straight. If Sister Shuyer kisses me, I'll remember it next time. Lin Shuyer's eyes were a little blurry, flickering. If your sister kisses you, will you remember it next time? Why do I feel like something is wrong? Humph, bully me if you can. I won't pay any attention to you. Having said that, Lin Shuyer had already put her arm around Chen, leaning lazily on his shoulder, closing her eyes to rest. This woman is so cute. The more Chen looked at her, the more he liked her. He couldn't help but reach out and touch her face. The skin is so smooth that it can be broken with a snap of the fingers. It feels really good tilde. Lin Shuyer was immersed in this sweetness, with a beautiful curve at the corner of her mouth. Chen silently called up the system. Lin Shuyer's favorability with you has reached 75. Yes, no to receive the rewards for this stage. Receive. Chen was eager to take action and chose to receive it directly. The next moment. The light is blooming. A high-tech injection similar to adrenaline appeared before our eyes. Perfect physical potion. After use, your various human functions will be greatly enhanced. Strength, speed, physical strength, immunity, etc. can all be greatly improved. Due to the perfect optimization of physical fitness, your current body shape will be slightly changed. I'll go. Chen was stunned. The system's product is really a good thing. Can it actually improve your physical fitness? But what kind of changes will it bring? He is looking forward to it. But now is obviously not the time to use it. Bulgari Hotel. Magnificent and full of high-end luxury. Chen walked to the front desk and said calmly, Handsome guy, do you have any rooms here? Of course, sir. The guy at the front desk stood up and immediately saw the beautiful woman next to Chen. His eyes suddenly brightened up. What type of suite do you want? How many? A single room would be fine. What kind are available? Chen was not in a hurry and continued to ask. The guy at the front desk was stunned for a moment, then introduced, there are exquisite king-size rooms for $28.88, deluxe river view rooms for $58.88, and water park fun suites for $78.88. Which one do you like? When Chen heard it, he understood it immediately. Isn't the water park suite just a couple's room? He and Lin Shuyer looked at each other and smiled in tacit understanding. Obviously, this kind of room is not suitable for a first date. Give me a deluxe river view room. Su Chen made a decision quickly. The guy at the front desk nodded and said, "Okay, please give me your ID so I can register it. The total amount, including the deposit, is 7,000 yuan. What can you pay with?" "Scan the code," Su Chen said, and reached into his pocket to take out his mobile phone. However, Lin Shuyer has already scanned the code and paid successfully. "Okay, check it." "Oh, okay. Got it." When the guy at the front desk saw the payment record in front of the computer, his brain was a little confused. Nowadays, it is common for couples to book a hotel room, but it is rare for girls to pay for it. Or such a beautiful lady. "Buddy, you are truly a role model for us. So awesome." The guy at the front desk silently gave Su Chen a thumbs up of admiration. In the luxury suite, the lighting is gentle and the atmosphere is particularly ambiguous. Lin Shuyer sat elegantly on the edge of the bed, with an S-shaped figure and peachy butt. She was very hot. She shook her beautiful long legs in black silk stockings and said noncommittally, "Su Chen, I'm tired. Please take off my shoes for me." Su Chen had just changed his shoes and handed another pair of slippers to her feet. "Who knows?" Lin Shuyer shook her head. "That's not what I meant." "What is that?" Su Chen was confused and a little hesitant. "Change your shoes." Lin Shuyer blinked and looked at him with interest. "Oh." Su Chen understood and couldn't help but smile. "Is there such a good thing?" "Stay calm, you must stay calm." He squatted down and reached out to help her take off her high heels. The black stockings wrapped around her cute, petite feet swayed gently, making people feel dizzy and mesmerized. Although Su Chen didn't have that kind of fetish, he still felt itchy because of her. "And from this angle, the scenery seems to be quite nice." "Su Chen." Lin Shuyer suddenly spoke and shouted. What's wrong?" Su Chen came to his senses and immediately felt guilty. "It's okay, I just suddenly wanted to call your name." Lin Shuyer saw the man in front of her gently helping her change her shoes. Such a warm and loving scene made her feel sweet in her heart. "You will definitely be a good father in the future. And, you may even be a daughter slave." She looked at the man and praised him from the bottom of her heart. Su Chen raised his eyebrows. "Is it our daughter?" "Who wants to have a baby with you?" "You're just dreaming." Lin Shuyer's pretty face, which was as cold as ice, turned red with embarrassment at this moment, and her voice also lacked some confidence. "After all, now." Chapter 11, Boyfriend Power Max. Su Chen stood up and sat beside her, holding her small waist with his big hands, and asked in a low voice, "Sister Shuyer, is it your safe period today?" Lin Shuyer's face turned even redder, and she said angrily, "Bad brother, I told you that you are so bold, right? What do you want to do by asking me this? Think." Su Chen grabbed her hand, his lips curled up. "Now that we have come to this, do we still have a way out?" Lin Shuyer was silent for a moment, then said arrogantly, "Do you think I'm afraid of you? You reek of alcohol, go take a shower." "Okay, whoever is a coward is a dog." Su Chen was delighted, kissed her cheek, and then walked towards the bathroom. Looking at the man's figure in the bathroom, Lin Shuyer lay directly on the bed, covering her hot face. She felt incredibly bold tonight. She actually agreed to have a secret relationship with her subordinate who was 3 years younger than her? So crazy. In the bathroom, the sound of water is rushing. Su Chen extracted the perfect physique potion and felt a little excited. "Come on, I'm ready. Take a deep breath." Su Chen picked up the medicine and injected it into his arm according to the instructions. In an instant, a warm current spread throughout the body. "It feels so good. I feel full of strength and energy." He stretched his body, feeling the initial changes brought about by his perfect physique. Sudden. He found that his body was beginning to change. The originally weak arms gradually became strong, and with a little effort, the angular muscles could be seen. Looking at his belly again, the original little belly has disappeared, replaced by the extremely perfect abdominal line. "Oh my god! Mermaid line and 8-pack abs. It's so handsome." Su Chen looked at himself in the mirror and became excited. This body shape is just perfect, just what he had always dreamed of, similar to that of the swimmers on the national team. Full of power and beauty. This is healthy beauty that comes from real training. Moreover, he keenly discovered that even his good buddy seemed to have been strengthened to a certain extent. Perfect indeed. Chen felt so good. If the system was a woman, he would hug her and kiss her fiercely. A moment later, Chen put away his arrogant face, pushed open the bathroom door and walked out. At this time, Lin Shuyer lay on the bed, flipping through the photos she and Chen took in the bar tonight. This was their first date, a memory that belonged only to the two of them. Chen, are you okay? Come and take a look at the photos I took tonight. The words were on the tip of her tongue, but she suddenly choked. The phone fell to the ground with a bang. Because she saw Chen, with his upper body naked, walking towards her. Huh? So you have such a great figure. Lin Shuyer was startled, with a strange gleam in her eyes. She didn't expect that Chen, who usually looked weak, had such a strong body. 8 abdominal muscles, clear curves, and full of masculine sexual tension. Coupled with Chen's handsome face, his brows revealed firmness. With all these, he could just take a selfie and post it on WeChat Moments, and wouldn't he be able to charm so many girls? Really handsome Tilder. Well, I want to touch it, is that okay with you? Lin Shuyer looked up at the man in front of her, her eyes full of curiosity. She was really curious about what it felt like. No. Chen took her soft little hand and placed it directly on his abdomen. Lin Shuyer was a little reserved at first, but after getting used to it, she became bolder and started to touch gently, pressing a few times with her fingertips. She found that Chen's abdominal muscles were very strong, as hard as rock, and very masculine. Chen was a little aroused by her teasing. Lin Shuyer asked curiously, "You must be very self-disciplined and work out regularly, right? It must be very difficult for others to train like you." Chen said proudly, "That's for sure. As a man, self-discipline is something that has long been engraved in my bones." Hearing this, Lin Shuyer smiled and suddenly said, "But, I heard that those strong men in the gym, although they are all muscular, are actually fake tigers and weak." "You don't?" Chen frowned, "What do you mean?" No, I was just kidding you." Lin Shuyer quickly waved her hands, trying hard to suppress her smile. "I heard it. You're trying to say I'm weak, right? I'm a tough guy." Chen used both hands to pick up Lin Shuyer horizontally in a princess hug and walked straight to the bathroom. Boyfriend power max. This little vixen deserves to be punished. The gorgeous CEO laughed so hard that her body shook. She patted Chen and he struggled to beg for mercy. I was wrong. Put me down quickly tilder. Chen put her at the bathroom door and said, "Be good and take a shower. I'll deal with you when you come out. HMPH, then bring my bag over here." Lin Shuyer pointed at her Gucci bag on the sofa. "What do you want?" Chen wondered. "Of course it's to remove makeup, idiot." Oh. Only then did Chen realize that he was a straight man. The sound of water splashing in the bathroom was heard. Through the frosted glass door, you can see her beautiful figure with a curvy figure. Chen could no longer hold back and his blood was boiling. But he knew that good things take time and that you can't get hot tofu in a hurry. After waiting for half an hour, the bathroom finally returned to silence and the sound of the door opening was heard. Chen's heart was beating very fast. A beautiful white leg stepped out. Beauty comes out of bath. Lin Shuyer, a beauty on earth, shyly grasped the white bath towel and walked towards Chen lightly. She had her hair tied up in a bun and was wearing no makeup. She looked less charming than usual, but more pure. Although she was wrapped in a bath towel, it still couldn't hide her perfect figure, and her huge and plump breasts were clearly visible. "I didn't make you wait too long, did I?" Lin Shuyer smiled sweetly, full of charm. "No, I'm willing to wait for you as long as you want." Chen came up to her and put his arms around her soft waist. When their eyes met, there was tenderness. "Sister Shuyer, you are so beautiful." Chen tilted his face, lowered his head, and gently kissed her rosy and soft lips, his movements gradual. The breathing sound gradually became rapid. She couldn't help but make pleasant sounds and responded in a youthful manner. Chen stretched out his big hand and gently pulled off her bath towel. "All the beauties are at your fingertips." Lin Shuyer was like a little rabbit, panicked, and hugged the man tightly. His body temperature was so hot that she felt safe. The extremely soft beauty pressed against Su Chen's chest. Chapter 12. From now on, enjoy life. The next morning. Bulgari Hotel, in front of the floor-to-ceiling windows. Su Chen sat leisurely on the sofa, looking at the bustling scenery of the city. It feels like looking down on the world. Before this, he had never dreamed of staying in such a high-end hotel, let alone spending a night with his beautiful boss. This is life. Su Chen couldn't help but sigh and looked back at the messy sheets in the room and the lighted bathroom. The beautiful moments that happened last night gradually emerged. The two of them were like dry firewood, and they caught fire at once. At first they were all a little reserved and couldn't relax, but after gradually getting used to it, they became bolder and got into the groove. Lin Shuyer has a strong personality. Although she was suppressed by Su Chen at the beginning, she took the initiative later and transformed herself into a beautiful knight, trying to tame Su Chen, the unruly horse. Fortunately, Su Chen has a perfect physique, so he can experience the beauty of complete indulgence. Unfortunately, Shuyer has gone home early. She still has to go to work today. Is she home now? Thinking of this, Su Chen ran to the bedside table and picked up his mobile phone, and found that Lin Shuyer had sent him a message 3 minutes ago. Bad guy tilde, I'm home. You fell asleep? Okay. I'll give you a day off today, so you can have a good rest. They didn't go to bed until after 3 o'clock last night, and Lin Shuyer went home at 6 o'clock, so she didn't sleep for long at all. But in this situation, she still has to go to work. It's so hard. Su Chen felt a little distressed. After thinking for a while, he made a voice call. Voice connected. The woman's voice was cold and charming, with a hint of surprise. You didn't sleep. I'm worried about you. I'm afraid you won't be in the mood for work. Not bad. I'm putting on makeup right now, so I can take a nap for a while before going to the company. At most, I won't work overtime at night and go home early to catch up on my sleep. Over there, Lin Shuyer was wearing an OL uniform and putting on makeup in front of the mirror. She seemed to be nourished by love, her pretty face was flushed and she looked very healthy. Thanks a lot. Su Chen really felt sorry for her. Tilde, I feel pretty refreshed having you to chat with me. By the way. Lin Shuyer suddenly remembered something and said angrily, I still have to go buy some medicine. It's all your fault, you bad guy, for making such a fuss. Su Chen was very apologetic and said gently, this is indeed my fault. I know it's not good for your health. I'm sorry. Okay, I don't blame you. Lin Shuyer smiled brightly, put on lipstick, and pursed her lips in satisfaction. You spent all your money last night, didn't you? Sister will give you some so that you can make do with it first. Su Chen was slightly stunned. Nowadays, it has almost become a matter of course for men to spend money on women. But this woman Lin Shuyer is actually willing to spend money on herself. Does he really look like a gigolo? He thought for a moment and said, I made a small fortune playing stocks recently. I'm actually not as poor as you think. Yeah. Lin Shuyer looked suspicious and continued, if you don't have enough money, just tell me, don't try to be stubborn. Su Chen chuckled, do you think I look like that kind of person? Yes, your skin is thicker than the city wall. Lin Shuyer thought about it and agreed. Su Chen even dared to pursue her, his boss, so what else was there that he was afraid of? Finish the call. Su Chen yawned. Finally I can take a nap. Ding. Congratulations to their host for completing the intimate mission, your romantic encounter with her. Lin Shuyer's favorability with you plus 10. Current favorability is 85, you can receive the rewards for this stage. Unlock new information column. Name, Lin Shuyer. Age, 26. Body, height 171 centimeters, 53 kilograms, perfect peach buttocks. Overall appearance, 97 points. Favorability, 85 sweet love. Dating experience, 1 person. Current status, ZZZZZZZ, sleepy tilde. Sure enough, I was her first time. Su Chen's mouth corners slightly raised. Although he had a premonition, he still felt secretly happy when he saw the data displayed by the system. As a man, of course he has a strong possessiveness over his woman, unless it is just a momentary pleasure. However, Lin Shuyer did not have a red spot the first time. Is it herself? Su Chen already had the answer and smiled knowingly. Then start checking the favorability rewards. Your current favorability with Lin Shuyer has reached 85, and you can receive the rewards for this stage. Receive. Congratulations on winning 5 million in cash. Congratulations on winning a Mercedes Maybach S680. Top-end Polar Night Edition. Already parked at Bulgari Hotel Parking Space 031. What the hell? Is this the reward for reaching the 80-degree favorability stage? Chen was so excited that he almost jumped out of the bed. He reached into the air and the Maybach S680 car key suddenly appeared in his hand. The iconic three-pointed star of Mercedes-Benz showed its nobility and luxury. Maybach S680 is Mercedes-Benz's top-level business sedan. The price of a top-end version is around 5 million. I received the bank card payment information on my mobile phone. Your account received a transfer, the income amount is 5 million yuan, the balance is 6,417,268.25 yuan. These two rewards add up to 10 million. It's so cool. Chen looked at the car keys in his hand and suddenly remembered a sentence. What a young man cannot obtain will haunt him for the rest of his life. In the past, he was indeed troubled by money and confused about the future, thinking that he might live a mediocre life. But now, the system is activated. Money, luxury cars, easy to get. Then you must enjoy your life. Chapter 13. What is the significance of Maybach? After receiving the reward, Chen decided to take a nap first. It's almost noon. Beside the bed, his cell phone rang. Chen lazily picked up the phone and answered it. Hello. Who is this? Brother Chen, it's me. Yang Feng. Yang Feng's carefree voice sounded. Oh? Lao Yan, why are you calling me at this time? What's the show? Chen opened his sleepy eyes, supported himself on the bed with his hands, and sat up straight. Yang Feng is Chen's good friend. He drank and ate barbecue with him that night, but was punished to do truth or dare, which almost caused a disaster. Har har, of course there is a show. Shall we go exercise together later? Yang Feng laughed loudly, and then complained, recently, my girlfriend always complains that I am fat and asks me to go to the gym to exercise. She said that her best friend's boyfriend is tall and strong, with 8-pack abs, and it would be embarrassing to take me out. I think, at most, I am just a little fat. I am really annoyed by her. Well, women are like that. Chen could understand. After all, don't most girls nowadays demand a car, a house, a dowry of hundreds of thousands, a height of 180 centimeters, and 8-pack abs? He also knew that Yang Feng liked his girlfriend very much, so he naturally obeyed her in everything. So, what do you say, Brother Chen? Please accompany me, it's too boring for me to work out alone. Yang Feng continued, don't be afraid. If you follow me, you will definitely get some benefits. I'll give you a membership card for half a year. What do you think? A half-year membership card costs 3,000 or 4,000 yuan. Across the screen, Chen could imagine the nasty look on this guy's face as he winked at him. Okay, now that you've spoken, I'll risk my life to accompany you. Okay. Then we'll meet at the Oyubo gym at 1:30 p.m. Okay. Hang up the phone. The sunlight refracts in through the window. Chen narrowed his eyes, stretched, then stood up and put on his clothes. It's great to not have to go to work. Bulgari Hotel, entrance. Next to the parking space. A group of passers-by were surrounding a luxury black car, taking pictures of it with excitement on their faces. There was a lot of heated discussion. Oh my god, tilder, this Mercedes is so cool. What model is this? It seems rare. Brother, you don't know this, right? This is the legendary Mercedes Maybach S680, the top business sedan. Oh my god. So this is a Maybach, no wonder it's so handsome. This car must have cost a lot of money, right? At least several million. At this time, a young man walked out of the crowd, pushed his glasses, and spoke professionally. This Maybach S680 is the pinnacle of luxury. It is positioned higher than the ordinary Mercedes-Benz brand. Equipped with a 6.0T twin-turbocharged V12 engine and a 7-speed manual transmission, the maximum speed can reach 250 km per hour. If I'm not mistaken, this Maybach is the midnight black top-of-the-line model, and it's hard to find one now. The price is around 5 million. Those who can afford it are either rich or powerful, big shots. When everyone heard this, they applauded in admiration. We are in Weihai, there are indeed many wealthy people. Awesome. After listening to your introduction, the quality of this car has been raised to a higher level. As expected of you, you are the car expert. Chen just walked over and heard them talking about this. He couldn't help but ask curiously, "Brother, what is your job? How do you know so much?" The young man with glasses smiled slightly and said in a domineering tone, "I am not very talented, but I am a car salesman now. I can say that I know everything about cars." Chen nodded approvingly. Sure enough, professional matters should be left to professionals. But, is this Maybach really as good as you say? Chen was still a little curious. The young man with glasses looked at him and the corners of his mouth gradually rose. It seems. This guy doesn't he understand anything? He smiled mysteriously and said, "Do you know the meaning of Maybach?" "Have no idea." Chen was stunned, his expression a little confused. The young man with glasses shook his head and laughed, then began a passionate speech. Maybach is not the fastest car, but it can outrun the Nibelungen and outrun fate. It is not just a car, but also a symbol of your climb up through obstacles. When you have a girlfriend, you will know that it's not that your parents-in-law are inhospitable, but that you don't have a Maybach. Young man, work hard. The climb may be long, but the view from the top is worth it. Don't worry if you're not good at speaking, Maybach will speak for you. Burning. These words are so exciting. Everyone's eyes were burning and their blood was boiling. Grass. I really want a Maybach. A symbol of financial strength and status, and proof of overcoming all obstacles. Chen seemed to be thinking about something, and said calmly, "I am indeed not good at speaking, it seems that Maybach is very suitable for me." That's right. The young man with glasses nodded with satisfaction and said with a smile, "If we work hard from now on, we still have a chance. Assuming we save 100,000 yuan a year, we can own a Maybach of our own in just 20 years. Why does it take 20 years? Can't we have it now?" Chen frowned and looked at him strangely. The young man with glasses was confused and said anxiously, "I also want to have it now, but tell me, where does the money come from? In this era, money is hard to make and shit is hard to eat, brother." However, just as he finished speaking, he watched as Chen took out the Maybach car key and pressed the button gently. Beep beep. The calm and domineering Maybach S680 flashes bright headlights. Everyone was stunned. Fuck, you're the boss. No buddy, we're still at the bottom of the mountain, but you've already reached the top. Why is the gap between people so big? I'm not good at speaking either, so why don't I have a Maybach? I cried tilder others have it now, but I still have to work hard for 20 years. The young man with glasses couldn't help swallowing his saliva, and watched Chen get on the Maybach and drive away. He suddenly felt very tired. Originally, he thought that everyone was miserable. But the reality is, we are different. Chapter 14 Fitness Coach, Goddess Chen Yufei Tilder. Chen drove a Maybach S680 on the bustling streets of Weihai. Cool and handsome. It attracted countless envious glances along their way. Even when waiting for the red and green lights, two long-legged beauties came up to me and asked for prestige. Unfortunately, their looks did not meet Chen's requirements, so he rejected them. 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Oyubo Fitness Club. This is one of the most high-end gyms in Weihai City. It has the most advanced equipment and building materials in the world, so the consumption is naturally quite high. Many fitness enthusiasts are getting involved and burning their calories, and the atmosphere is very good. Looking around, there are big strong men lifting weights, and hot young ladies wearing yoga pants running on treadmills. They twist their waists and lift their hips, which is truly a feast for the eyes. It's a man's paradise. Chen looked around casually and prepared to find a place to sit down in the rest area. A charming young woman greeted him delicately. "Hi, handsome guy, do you want to work out with me?" Chen raised his eyes and a message box appeared. Name, Liu Lan. Age, 34. Body, height 166 centimeters. Overall appearance, 74 points. Favorability, 55. Dating experience, 17 people 999 plus. Current status, I really want to fall in love, but the more I think about it, the harder it becomes. Chen couldn't help but take a breath. Oh my god. This love experience is too rich. I'm waiting for someone, sorry sister. Chen refused with a smile. The charming young woman smiled awkwardly, then turned away with some regret. Chen was just about to sit down and play with his phone when he saw a fitness beauty walking towards him with her long legs and a smile. She is tall and wears a sports vest, showing off her proud and plump figure. Her long legs are very beautiful under the outline of tight yoga pants, and her slim waist and sweet hips show her S-shaped figure. This kind of perfect figure can easily arouse primitive desires in people. She has a high ponytail and a healthy wheat-colored complexion, which makes her look very capable and wild, a typical sporty beauty. Name, Chen Yufei. Age, 22. Body, height 170 centimeters, perfect body. Overall appearance, 95 points. Favorability, 35. Dating experience, 0 people. Current status, I really want a sponsor to let me place a few orders, looking forward to it. Chen's eyes lit up. This top beauty with a score of 95 actually has 0 dating experience? It's so rare. Chen Yufei smiled and said, Sir, I am Chen Yufei, the fitness coach here. Is this your first time to visit us at Oyubo? She saw Chen's handsome appearance and extraordinary temperament, and with the Maybach car key in his hand, she realized that he was a rich young man. She attaches great importance to such customers with purchasing power. Chen nodded lightly. Chen Yufei's eyes flickered, and she invited him expectantly, If you don't mind, can I show you around the gym and chat with you? 1. Chat. Don't you just want to sell me lessons? Tell me, if I buy your lessons for one night, how much would it cost? 2. What's so good about visiting a gym? It's just some broken irons. I'm not interested. 3. Sure, I'm also interested in fitness and would like to learn more about it. As soon as these 3 options come out, Chen didn't think too much about it and said calmly, Okay, I'm quite interested in fitness recently, and I would like to learn more about it. That's really great. Chen Yufei clapped her hands excitedly when she saw that there was a chance. The two walked into the gym together, talking and chatting. Chen Yufei introduced enthusiastically, Our Oyubo gym has a history of 15 years and is one of the top and most famous gyms in Weihai. Most of these equipment are imported from abroad and are very expensive. In addition, there are constant temperature swimming pools, high-end bathrooms, yoga rooms, etc. Many beautiful young ladies come to our gym every day. With your handsome image, you can easily make many friends. She introduced it in great detail, and some places were indeed very attractive. Moreover, every coach here is very professional, serious and responsible. Hey, don't look at me because I'm so young. I've already obtained Pilates certification, yoga certification, and a second-level nutritionist certificate. I'm absolutely trustworthy. Her smile is confident and beautiful, and it is obvious that this is something she is proud of. Ding! Chen Yufei's favorability with you +5. Chen didn't quite understand. But it sounds really amazing. And it also increases my favorability, which is great. Chen Yufei became more and more excited as she spoke, and asked with a smile, Sir, in your impression, what do you think fitness is? Chen thought for a moment, I think it's to keep fit. Chen Yufei nodded with satisfaction and said, To put it simply, it is true. But the benefits of fitness are more than that. When we exercise, our bodies release endorphins, which are happy hormones that can relieve stress and reduce negative emotions such as depression and anxiety. In addition, fitness can make you self-disciplined and make you firm in your will. The whole person is sublimated from the inside out. After hearing these words, Chen suddenly understood. No wonder, when he and Lin Shuyer were exercising vigorously, both of them indulged themselves. It turns out to be their happy hormone produced during exercise. Well, that makes sense. Seeing this, Chen Yufei took the opportunity to promote, I think you are particularly suitable for a membership card at this stage. There is a promotion recently. The annual card is only 8,800 yuan, and the quarterly card is even cheaper, only 2,800 yuan. Of course, if you need faster results, you can hire a private trainer for one-on-one sessions, which will give you better results. She looked at Chen expectantly, waiting for his answer. Chapter 15. Be her financial sponsor. 1. I don't come to the gym often, so give me a season pass. 2. How about you call me dad and I'll buy you an annual pass. 3. I don't go to the gym often, so I might need a personal trainer. I think you are quite professional. Chen fell into deep thought. Options 1 and 3 both seem reasonable. But if you think about it carefully, wouldn't it be too petty to just apply for a season pass? Or, should we keep it simple and rough? Chen Yufei is a 95-point athletic beauty with a very good appearance and figure. Especially her plump and perky peach buttocks, angelic face, and S-shaped figure. No man can resist such temptation. Must we take it down ruthlessly? Make up your mind. Chen smiled faintly and said, I'm usually very busy and can't come to the gym often. So I think I need a personal fitness trainer. I just listened to you and felt that you are quite professional. You shouldn't let me down, right? Chen Yufei was slightly stunned. She always felt that her professionalism was challenged, which further aroused her desire to perform. For someone like you who doesn't come to the gym often, private training would be more suitable. My one-on-one private lessons cost 1,200 yuan each and last at least 120 minutes. I will customize a fitness plan for you, prepare a nutrition package, and solve all your fitness problems. If you are willing to choose me, please trust my professional ability, which will definitely put your mind at ease. The cost of this gym is indeed higher than that of ordinary gyms. 2 hours, and it costs 1,200 yuan. Most people simply cannot afford this kind of consumption. But this amount of money is nothing to Chen now. His main purpose is not for fitness. Chen said calmly, then let's try it out for a few sessions first. If you think it's good, continue to add more. Chen Yufei nodded in agreement and asked expectantly, how many sessions do you plan to have? Chen didn't say anything and stretched out a finger. 1. Chen Yufei was a little disappointed and pouted, okay, 1 session is fine. After all, I haven't shown my professionalism yet. However, Chen's leisurely voice soon sounded. I said 100 knots. What? Chen Yufei was stunned, her eyes widened. The financial sponsor has really arrived. Service front desk. Chen Yufei's favorability towards you +10, current favorability 50. There are only 10 points left before you can claim your reward. The efficiency is good. Chen smiled faintly and closed the system with satisfaction. Chen Yufei patted the girl at the front desk on the shoulder and said with a bright smile, help this gentleman get a gym membership and buy 100 sets of my one-on-one private training courses. The little girl was startled and blurted out, Sister Yufei, didn't you never take classes from male students before? Why, Chen Yufei covered her mouth instantly, and her cold eyes almost killed her. Then he turned around, gave an awkward but polite smile, and explained. Mr. Su, although the students I taught privately before were all female students, there is not much difference between the two in essence. Please trust my professional ability. Hearing this, Chen was confused. Good job. Chen Yufei has never even given private lessons to male students. Could it be that I am her first male student? This is so meow. I seem to like it more. Look at his silence. Chen Yufei became even more anxious, and said in a wronged and coquettish manner, Mr. Su please give me a chance. If you are worried, you can consider choosing a class. After you see my professional skills, if you are not satisfied, you can consider changing people. Do you think it's okay? Previously, she only accepted private lessons from girls because she felt that the way those men looked at her was lustful and their intentions were not pure. Because of this reason, her performance has not been able to improve and she has been very distressed recently. But today, Chen's interaction with her made her feel very comfortable, like a spring breeze. What's more, Chen was even more arrogant and directly wanted to buy 100 private lessons. A full 120,000 renminbi. According to their 65% commission, she can get a commission of 78,000 yuan. Who wouldn't he be tempted by so much money? 1. I'm here to work out, not to be taught blindly by you. Turning around and walking away. 2. Then buy 1 lesson and see how good you are at professionalism. Agree to her suggestion. 3. I don't like to go back on my word, so let us stick to our previous agreement. Not too particular. Chen's face remained calm as he smiled faintly, I don't like to go back on my word, so let's just follow our previous agreement. Great. Thank you, Mr. Su. Chen Yufei was so excited that tears were about to fall. She is so happy. It's hard to find a sponsor like Chen who is handsome, rich, and easy to get along with. If she let go, those female coaches would rush over to grab it. No one knows better than her the madness and hunger of those women. Chen Yufei's favorability towards you +5, current favorability 55. Su Chen smiled slightly. With the system, love is easy to control. So cool. Suddenly, his expression froze and his brows furrowed slightly. He noticed that the girl at the front desk seemed unhappy. Name, Cheng Yi. Age, 20 years old. Appearance, 84 points. Current status, jealousy. Jealousy. Curse. Why did she pretend to be innocent before? How could she meet such a handsome sponsor? Seeing this, Su Chen already understood. It turns out that Cheng Yi let the cat out of the bag on purpose just now, just to make Chen Yufei lose the order. The jealousy in a woman's heart is so scary. However, Chen Yufei was still immersed in the joy of placing an order and did not notice these things. Cheng Yi asked in a sweet voice, "Brother, the Platinum VIP gym card has been processed for you. You are spending 120,000 yuan here. How much do you want to deposit now? Let's start with a small amount of 300,000 yuan. It's hard to spend too much at once." Su Chen calmly handed over his bank card. Chen Yufei and Cheng Yi were controlled at the same time. Oh my god. A mere 300,000. Listen, is what you say human language? What a domineering and overbearing president. Cheng Yi blushed and her heart beat fast as she helped Su Chen swipe the card. As the password is entered, with a beep sound, the receipt rolls out of the POS machine. Wow tilde tilde. Chen Yufei opened her mouth in shock and covered her hot cheeks with her hands. Did she save the galaxy in her previous life? Are you so lucky now? Normally, their gym does have many high-end customers. It is quite common for members to recharge 20,000 or 30,000 yuan at one time, but it is quite rare for members to recharge 100,000 yuan at one time. Not to mention someone like Su Chen, who just waved his hand and spent 300,000. Moreover, he is so calm. How rich are you? Little brother, this is your Platinum Gym membership card, bank card, and receipt. The current balance is 180,000. Please keep it safe. Cheng Yi spoke in a sweet voice and handed the things over with both hands, with a very respectful attitude. Su Chen took it with a faint smile. You know what, this little green tea girl is quite good at pretending. At least he couldn't tell from the surface that Cheng Yi was so hostile towards Chen Yufei. Chen Yufei blushed slightly and said respectfully, Mr. Su, shall we start the first class now? To be honest, she was a little nervous. After all, she had never taught male students before. Such a rich sponsor. Let's get started. Su Chen found that he was only 5 points away from receiving the reward for his favorability with Chen Yufei, so he had to strike while the iron was hot. Chapter 16. With your figure, do you still need to exercise? Inside the private gym. Chen Yufei held a small notebook with a serious look on her face. Now, I want to understand your basic physical condition so that I can tailor a fitness plan for you. If she wore black framed glasses, she would really look like a teacher. Su Chen was a little curious. Oh, then what do you want me to do? Chen Yufei blushed and handed him a new pair of sports shorts. Put on these shorts and you don't need to wear a shirt. I want to see your figure. Su Chen took the shorts silently. Chen Yufei turned around consciously. Su Chen's movements were very quick. In less than a minute, he had changed into sports shorts, stood on the measuring machine with his upper body naked. All right. Hearing the man's voice behind her, Chen Yufei turned around. When she saw Su Chen standing on the measuring device, her eyes widened. 8-pack abs, mermaid line, and well-developed tendons. The muscle lines all over his body are absolutely perfect under the cold light in the room. Full of masculine atmosphere. You? Chen Yufei's breathing became rapid. She blinked hard and realized that this was not an illusion. How come you're in such good shape? Do you need to work out? Chen Yufei was dumbfounded. She stretched out her soft little hands, touched the man's wheat-colored skin, felt every inch of his muscles, and felt the sense of power. She fantasized that she could find a flaw in it. But the more she understood, the more shocked she was. Because from her professional perspective, Su Chen's muscles can only be described in 2 words: perfect. Moreover, it is her favorite type. Chen Yufei suppressed her excitement and said calmly, turn around so I can see your back. Then do a strongman pose and let me see. Su Chen was confused and asked, how to do it? You do not know. Chen Yufei's eyes flickered, and then she gave him a simple demonstration. Su Chen raised his hands and imitated the posture of a strongman. The strength in his body moved slightly, and extremely beautiful muscle lines appeared instantly. Qin Yufei opened her mouth wide and touched his back curiously. Surprised again and again. Oh my god! Your inverted deltoid muscles are so perfect. How on earth did you do that? How many years have you been training? She looked at Su Chen with suspicion and asked him a soul-searching question. Su Chen said seriously, I do exercise at home usually, just doing push-ups and squats. As for systematic training, I don't really have any. No way. Qin Yufei felt incredible, exercising at home can achieve such results. That means you have an incredible talent for fitness. Or, you just happen to find the fitness method that suits you best. Having said that, her mind was very messy at the moment. Because Su Chen's figure was so perfect, which interrupted all her original plans. It becomes impossible to start. At this time, Su Chen's expression changed, and he began to speak slowly. I don't know. But I've been exercising recently, and I always feel sore all over. I guess there's something wrong with my training method. Especially my abdomen, I always feel a tearing pain, so I came to the gym and wanted to ask a coach. Now, Qin Yufei's beautiful eyes shone again. I understand. She looked as if she had suddenly realized something, and analyzed seriously, your fitness talent is indeed very high. But you don't know how to properly control the scale, so you put a serious load on your muscles, which is why you have the side effects you have now. Where does it hurt? Let me show you first. She looked at Su Chen with concern, and suddenly she was revived with full health. Because if that's the case, then her existence is very necessary. Can help Su Chen find the best fitness method. Su Chen pointed to his abdomen with a harmless look on his face. It's this one. Oh. Qin Yufei seemed to be thinking about something, then she placed her small hand on his abdomen, pressed it with her fingers, and asked, is it here? Yes. Su Chen confirmed. Qin Yufei lowered her head and began to gently massage Su Chen's abdomen. Kneading and kneading tilde. He also explained, gently rubbing like me can relieve your muscle soreness. Does it feel better? And, this technique is also very simple. You can learn while watching. Feeling the soft touch from her little hands, and at this angle, her full and beautiful breasts were about to burst out, and they swayed gently. Su Chen experienced the ultimate happiness both in terms of touch and vision. So comfortable. Sudden. Qin Yufei stopped moving and asked with a smile, Mr. Su, you really are not kidding me, are you? In fact, you are some fitness tycoon or some fitness blogger, and you are deliberately kidding me for fun. Su Chen was stunned and couldn't help laughing. Do you think I'm that boring? No, I just thought too much. Qin Yufei blushed slightly, feeling that she was being a little presumptuous. She could see that Su Chen was indeed unfamiliar with fitness, and he didn't even know what the strongman pose was. It didn't seem like he was acting at all. Besides, who would spend 300,000 just to play house with her? At this time, a cell phone rang. Su Chen knew without thinking that it was Yang Feng who called. He picked up the phone on the table and answered the call. Old Yang, are you here yet? Oh, we'll come out now. Chapter 17 Brother Chen, you are my godfather. Su Chen and Qin Yufei walked directly to the rest area. A young man with a simple and honest appearance and a stocky build was looking around curiously. The moment he saw Su Chen, his eyes lit up instantly. Hey, Brother Chen. Yang Feng ran over excitedly and said with a smile, you came so early, I almost thought I was late. Hey, who is this beautiful lady? Could it be my sister-in-law? He glanced at Qin Yufei, who was simply a super beauty. He had to give his brother an assist, and then patted Su Chen on the shoulder. Brother Chen, you are so mean. You got a girlfriend but you didn't tell me. Then, he gave Su Chen a look that said, you know. After this operation, Su Chen was suddenly confused. Qin Yufei explained, I am Mr. Su's personal trainer, Qin Yufei. Hello. Personal trainer? Oh, hello. Yang Feng nodded as a greeting. He also felt something was wrong and immediately pulled Su Chen to an empty corner. The two brothers started talking in whispers. Hey, Brother Chen. Didn't we agree today that I would buy you a 6-month membership? Why did you call for a personal trainer first? Do you really like that girl, so you spend so much money to pursue her? Yang Feng usually seems careless, but he is actually not stupid at all. Su Chen shook his head and said with a smile, I do have the intention to pursue her. But the main problem is that I am rich now. What? Yang Feng was shocked and suddenly became a little excited. Su Chen said seriously, didn't I talk to you about the cryptocurrency world some time ago? I invested 30,000 yuan in it, and guess what, it doubled more than 500 times. The cryptocurrency circle is extremely crazy, and Su Chen has been learning about it before. Many people rely on this thing. As long as they seize the opportunity, they can become rich overnight. It is not uncommon for them to be worth tens of millions or even hundreds of millions. Damn it. Brother Chen, you are such a business genius. Yang Feng was excited. 30,000 increased 500 times, that's 15 million. He patted Su Chen's shoulder, happy for him from the bottom of his heart, and then asked, but Brother Chen, when are you going to stop? Didn't you say that this thing is extremely risky? Su Chen nodded slightly and said lightly, yes, so I plan to use a small amount of money to continue playing, and invest the rest in some businesses. Even if you have money, you must not get carried away and must stay rational. Awesome. Yang Feng was shocked and full of admiration. He couldn't help but sigh, if only I were half as smart as you, Brother Chen. In his opinion, it is really rare to find someone who can remain calm like Su Chen even though he has so much money. At least, he can't do it. Moreover, in his impression, Su Chen has shown a leadership quality since he was a child, which makes people willing to follow him. Su Chen also patted his shoulder and chuckled, let's go, I'll take you to enjoy the services of the gym today. Elder brother. Yang Feng shook his head and said seriously, no, now Brother Chen, you are my adoptive father. It's embarrassing to do all this, right? Su Chen shook his head and couldn't help laughing. After chatting, the two came back together. Qin Yufei still stood there obediently waiting, with a beautiful smile on her face and a respectful attitude. Su Chen said calmly, Coach Yufei, please introduce a good coach to my friend, and then get an annual card and buy 50 lessons to experience it. Hearing this, Qin Yufei's eyes suddenly sparkled, and she said in surprise, okay, Mr. Su, then please wait a moment. She picked up her phone and dialed, but no one answered. I guess he's exercising. So, Qin Yufei talked to Su Chen and then got up to look for someone in other fitness areas. Yang Feng was a little curious and asked, Brother Chen, I know this annual card, it's 8,800 a year. What are the 50 classes you mentioned, and how much do they cost? Su Chen said calmly, don't you want to work out? I'll find you a private trainer. It's not expensive. 50 classes might cost 60,000 yuan. 60,000. Yang Feng was stunned. His brother Chen actually spent 60,000 yuan to hire a private trainer for him. That's so fucking generous. It really proves the saying, if one person succeeds, their whole family will prosper. He patted his chest excitedly and said, Brother Chen, I am willing to be your watchdog in the future. I will bite anyone who dares to mess with you. Su Chen, just walk a 6. The other side. Qin Yufei walked quickly with her long legs, searching. Finally, she saw a short-haired beauty doing bench presses on the equipment in the bench press area. And Qing, stop practicing. Get up and work. Qin Yufei waved her little hands and urged anxiously. He was just about to use a whip to beat her. The fitness coach named and Qing looked confused. What's wrong? I just finished my work. Qin Yufei excitedly recounted, I am very lucky today. I met a very good sponsor who is very generous. Besides, let me tell you, he is handsome and has a great body. He doesn't even need to work out, it's just natural, you know. The more Qing listened, the more confused she became. Then why did he look for you? Does he like you? Oh, no. Qin Yufei blushed, she is so outstanding, how could she be interested in a little coach like me? Oh, let's go first, there is a big order. She took Qing's hand and on their way back, she briefly described what happened today to Qing. Qing's eyes widened in amazement, wow. Yufei, you are so lucky. How did you meet such a good sponsor? Is it the reason why you have remained single? She couldn't help but joke, and then glanced at Qin Yufei's perfect figure. Qin Yufei is very beautiful and has a great figure. Many men pursue her, but Qin Yufei has high standards and has never found anyone she likes. And Qing is sometimes curious about what kind of man her best friend Qin Yufei likes. Xiao Anqing, are you itching again? Qin Yufei's cheeks flushed with shame, and she waved her fist to threaten, "Humph, if you dare to tease me, I'll beat you up. I won't let you take this order tilde. And Qing immediately admitted defeat. "Stop it, little ancestor, being single is good, long live being single." After a moment, Qin Yufei brought in Qing back and walked in front of Su Chen and the others. "Mr. Su, this is Coach Qing. She has a lot of coaching experience and is very professional. She should be able to give your friend a pleasant fitness experience." "Hello, Mr. Su." And Qing extended her hand gracefully and shook hands with Su Chen first. Only then did she realize that Qin Yufei was not exaggerating at all. Su Chen was indeed very handsome. Then, she turned her gaze to Yan Feng and asked respectfully, "Sir, what is your name?" Yan Feng cleared his throat and said firmly, "My name is Yan Feng." Having Su Chen by his side gave him full confidence. He can't be weak. After everyone got to know each other briefly, the matter was happily settled. Coach Qing serves as Yan Feng's personal fitness trainer. This made Yan Feng very happy. He secretly gave Su Chen a thumbs up to express his praise. Although Qing is not as pretty as Qin Yufei, the system scores her 83 points, and her figure is also very hot, so she is definitely a great beauty. So, with such a beautiful woman serving as Yan Feng's fitness coach, wouldn't he be very motivated? Chapter 18. It seems like I was tricked, but I have no evidence. They were divided into two groups and each started their fitness plan for the day. In the private gym, Qin Yufei quickly entered working mode and tested some basic data of Su Chen's body. Su Chen, height 182.4 centimeters, weight 75.7 kilograms, body fat percentage 10%. After Qin Yufei finished speaking, she was silent for a long time. She really began to doubt her life. Because she had seen so many people in the gym, tall, short, fat and thin, but this was the first time she had seen someone with such a perfect figure as Su Chen. Whether it is body data or muscle dimensions, the proportions of each data are perfect. At least, that's how she sees it. Su Chen, without a doubt, has the standard figure of a male god. However, even with such a perfect figure, Su Chen actually said that he achieved it through casual exercise. Seeing that she didn't speak for a long time, Su Chen suppressed his smile and asked, "Coach Yufei, what's wrong with you? I heard that people nowadays like to be thinner. Will I look better if I lose some weight?" Qin Yufei was anxious now, and quickly stopped him, saying, "Stop. Stop your stupid idea. When we do fitness, we focus on health and reject the aesthetic of being white, young and thin. Your current figure is perfect. All you need to do is maintain it." "Oh." Su Chen nodded honestly. "Even though she scolded me, I still felt good. What's going on?" Qin Yufei finally put down the data table and said seriously, "I just thought about it carefully. You said that the muscles were torn because of exercise. I think there are two possibilities. The first is excessive exercise. Second, it may be because you have been training in the wrong posture for a long time, which has brought you adverse consequences." "Yeah, that's right. That's absolutely right." Although Su Chen doesn't usually exercise, he listened very carefully at this moment and nodded frequently. The emotional value can be said to be maximized for the other party. Qin Yufei finally showed her beautiful smile and said, "So, now you do a squat and I'll see how you usually do it." "Squats?" Su Chen frowned. What's wrong?" Qin Yufei was a little surprised. "I remember you said you would do it." "1. I do know how to do it. I will do it now. Honest. 2. If you ask me to do it, I will do it. Wouldn't that make me lose face? Unless you beg me. Sunder. I can do it, but it's too boring if I do it alone. By the way, I saw someone on the internet holding his girlfriend and doing a weighted squat. I also want to try it. Invite her to do a princess squat." The first two options don't seem very reliable. As for the third option, are you sure you want to go this big? Holding her and doing squats? Su Chen cleared his throat and said seriously, "I can do it, but it would be too boring if I do it alone. By the way, I saw someone on the internet holding his girlfriend and challenging himself to do weighted squats. It seemed quite interesting. So Coach Yufei, I also want to challenge you." "R." Qin Yufei was suddenly confused, her face flushed. "So, you mean, you want me to cooperate with you?" "Yeah, are there other girls here besides you?" I'm just curious and want to experience the fun of fitness, otherwise it's too boring. Don't you think so? Chen looked like he was ready to give up at any moment. Chen Yufei suddenly panicked. This is our financial sponsor, we can't make him unhappy. But weighted squats require a lot of arm strength. Most people probably can't do more than a few. Are you sure you want to try? Chen Yufei was still holding on to her last bit of stubbornness, hoping that Chen could change his mind. After all, as a fitness coach, she helped her students do princess squats. Is that a bit too intimate? Hearing this, Chen became more determined. Well, you can also test my arm strength, and then test my squat movements. Isn't it killing two birds with one stone? Chen Yufei. Her clever little brain froze for a moment. I always feel like I've fallen into some incredible trap. Before she could react, Chen naturally made a princess hug gesture and said, Coach Yufei, come up. I don't want to train with the wrong posture anymore. It will cause great damage to my body. We still have so many classes to go. Chen Yufei's pretty face had already turned red with embarrassment. But she really couldn't find a reason to refuse. It was she who suggested correcting wrong training posture. Now she can show you how, but you say no. Moreover, if she refuses with a cold face during the first class today, what should we do next? What should I do if I have been complained about? Then, come on. Chen Yufei's face was so red that water seemed to be dripping out, and her voice was as small as a mosquito's. Chen stretched out his hands and picked up Chen Yufei. Feeling the extremely soft and elastic touch of the big hand, Chen's heart was filled with joy. Chen Yufei's figure is simply amazing. But there was still no expression on Chen's face. He glanced at Chen Yufei in his arms and said calmly, Coach Yufei, I'll start then. He started doing squats. Squat down. Stand up. Up and down. Chen's face was focused on training, and heavy breathing could be heard. Chen Yufei felt the man's hot masculine breath, and her face had already become extremely hot. She raised her eyes and looked at Chen from such a close distance. She thought he was really handsome. Moreover, Chen's strength is so great. It seemed like he did several squats, but he didn't look tired at all. For a moment, she was a little dazed. But the next second, Chen Yufei calmed down. She turned her head to see what Chen was doing, but found that the view is blocked and I can't see it at all. On the contrary, all the curves of her body were exposed. Chen Yufei blushed with shame and said in a tender voice, Stop, stop. Okay. Chen put her on the ground and said innocently, Coach Yufei, what's wrong? Chen Yufei was silent for a moment, then said with a mixture of embarrassment and amusement, It was all your bad idea. How could I see your movements like that? She suspected that she might be tricked, but she couldn't find any evidence. Chen slapped his head, We forgot to take a video. We should have recorded it. This way you can see it, right? You. Chen Yufei was so embarrassed that she really wanted to find a crack in the ground to crawl into. If the video was really recorded and she saw that scene herself, what would the scene be like? She is a fitness coach, and she hugged a handsome male student so blatantly. How is that possible? But there seemed to be nothing wrong with what Chen said. This is the most terrifying thing. Chen Yufei didn't exercise, but suddenly felt very tired. She said, Mr. Su, am I heavy? No. She was so angry that she almost lost her mind and really wanted to slap herself. How could a fitness coach ask such a question? This is a lack of confidence in your body shape. Chen said seriously, It's not heavy, it fits just right, it's perfect. When Chen Yufei heard this, a smile immediately appeared on her face, and the anger she had just felt disappeared. Women always like to be praised. I feel so good tilder. Hee tilder, I'm a coach after all, how can that be bad? Chen Yufei was a little proud, but her pretty face had already turned red with embarrassment. Ding! Chen Yufei's favorability with U+4, current favorability 59. Chen's mouth corners slightly raised. The price is increasing quite fast. I wonder what rewards I can get. Chapter 19 God assists, favorability increases. Follow-up testing. Chen Yufei already had a rough idea of Chen's physical condition. There is nothing wrong with Chen's physique, it can even be said to be perfect. Whether it was strength, stamina, speed or other aspects of her physical fitness, they were all beyond her expectations, which surprised her greatly. After all, just now, Chen held her and did several squats in a row. Of course, Chen is still conserving his strength, otherwise if he were to exert his full strength, it would alarm the entire fitness circle. There was another thing that surprised Qin Yufei. Chen's fitness movements were not standard, he was completely like a novice. She also suspected that Chen was a fitness expert who was pretending to be a newbie to amuse her. But Qin Yufei has eliminated her doubts through the testing process. Then, the reason why Chen was able to train his body to this state could only be attributed to one reason. Chen's talent for fitness is so extraordinary that he is 1 in a billion. In other words, Chen has a holy body of fitness. After reaching a conclusion, Qin Yufei began to develop a new fitness plan for Chen, then corrected his fitness movements, and finally customized a diet to guide his eating habits. 2 hours later. The training is over. 2 beautiful coaches escorted Chen and the others to the gym entrance. Qin Yufei smiled and said, "Mr. Su, you are usually busy and can't come to the gym. If you need fitness guidance or training, you can contact me." Her financial sponsor, Chen, bought 100 private lessons. Of course, she was obliged to provide private lessons at home, on call. Well, let's leave it at that for today. Chen smiled faintly and helped Yang Feng, who was already exhausted, away. "Mr. Su, Mr. Yan, please take care." Qin Yufei and Enqing smiled and bowed slightly to see them off respectfully. Attitude and service must be in place. Only after they walked away did the 2 women straighten up. They looked at each other, and excitement appeared on their faces. "Yufei. I really love you tilde. Enqing hugged her bestie and said excitedly, "I can get more than 40,000 yuan in commission from this order. I will definitely treat you to a big meal when I have time." "Well, what date is today? Let me see." Qin Yufei glanced at her phone and silently wrote down today's date. Enqing pulled Qin Yufei's arm and smiled enviously. "Yufei, you are so lucky. You actually met such a young and handsome client like Mr. Su. By the way, didn't you say that he has a good figure? I don't believe it, can you show it to me?" "Bar. You little naive girl. Don't you believe it?" Qin Yufei pulled out Chen's body photo on her phone and said with a smile, "Look, isn't he a perfect male god? Are you greedy? You are so greedy, girl." Hiss. Enqing was stunned, her eyes wide open. "Mr. Su, this body is simply amazing, I love it. I'd even be willing to be his personal trainer for free." She showed a crazy look on her face, and then asked in confusion, "But, since he has such a good figure, why does he need you to be his personal trainer? This is a bit unreasonable." Qin Yufei nodded. "At first, I had the same idea as you. But later I realized that he was able to train like this because he was training blindly. He just relied on his physical talent to hold on. If it were an ordinary person, his body would have collapsed long ago. So, he came to me for maintenance. Do you understand?" With a confident smile on her face, she revealed all her speculations. "Then your job is too easy." Enqing was very envious and gave an example. "You are like doing maintenance for a Ferrari, and Mr. Yan, whom I mentor, needs to convert a bicycle into a Lamborghini. This is a big project." As she said that, she rolled her eyes and joked, "How about we switch places? You let me guide Mr. Su for a few days." Qin Yufei was immediately unhappy, and pushed Enqing directly, scolding with a smile, "Fuck you." Seeing her protecting the food like this, Enqing smiled happily. "I'm just kidding." She waved her hand and asked curiously, "Did any intimate interactions happen during your guidance of Mr. Su? Mr. Su is so handsome and rich, he should be very much what you want, don't you feel tempted? You'd better seize this opportunity. There are not many excellent men in this world." Hearing this, Qin Yufei's pretty face turned red with embarrassment. She recalled the scene of being picked up by Chen and doing squats. Just thinking about it made her blush and her heart beat fast. Humph tilde no, stop gossiping. Qin Yufei turned her head away shyly and ignored him. As someone who has been through this, Enqing felt that there was potential as soon as she saw it. If Qin Yufei could find a boyfriend as outstanding as Chen, wouldn't she, as his best friend, also benefit from it? Bo Jim, downstairs. Congratulations to the host for receiving the loving assistance from Enqing. Ding. Qin Yufei's favorability with you +2, current favorability is 61. Chen's eyes lit up. It was such a pleasant surprise. Unexpectedly, the beautiful coach and Ching actually gave him an assist and added 2 more points of Chen Yufei's favorability. That's great. The money was well spent. Brother Chen, you are so strong? You don't even breathe hard. Yang Feng was so tired that his waist and legs ached. He sighed, I am so tired. This kind of fitness is really not something that ordinary people can stick to. Su Chen glanced at him and said, didn't you say you wanted to work out quietly and then surprise your girlfriend? Yang Feng nodded and laughed, that makes sense. I must make her look at me with new eyes and see if she dares to call me fat again. Besides, Brother Chen, you bought me so many lessons, I can't waste them. Su Chen smiled. This kid hasn't changed. Moreover, thanks to him, I had the courage to confess to Lin Shuya that night. Let's go, you still have to work this afternoon, right? I'll give you a ride. Su Chen patted his shoulder. Yang Feng's eyes widened, and he asked in surprise, Brother Chen, have you bought a car? Yeah, isn't it over there? Su Chen looked calm and at the Maybach not far away, then pressed the car key in his hand. Beep tilde tilde tilde. The calm and domineering Maybach S680 is like a beast awakening, with diamond-like headlights flashing. Oh my god! Big Benz. Yang Feng was shocked. He ran over happily and stroked the shiny black body of the Maybach S680 with excitement on his face. Can't put it down. Suddenly, Yang Feng's eyes froze and he was stunned. Hey, there's a V12 logo on this car. This doesn't look like an ordinary Mercedes-Benz. That's impossible. Yang Feng seemed to have thought of something and immediately ran to the rear of the car. The whole person was shocked. Because he saw the Maybach logo and those characters that represent luxury. S680. Holy crap. This is actually a Maybach S680. Today, I finally saw a real car. Awesome plus, Brother Chen. Yang Feng was so excited that he gave Su Chen a thumbs up. Chapter 20 The relationship is exposed. Enjoy the game company. The calm and handsome Maybach S680 stopped steadily. Let's go, Brother Chen. Yang Feng got out of the car, waved goodbye to Su Chen, and then walked into the company. Feeling the envious gazes from all around him, he felt as if he was walking with the wind. The momentum is a little different. Inside the Maybach. Chen Yufei's favorability with you has reached 61 points. You can receive the rewards for this stage. Do you want to receive them immediately? Receive. Su Chen thought to himself and chose to receive it. Ding! Congratulations on winning the reward, a 10 million cashback card. Your spending will be rebated at a random ratio of 2.5 times. Amount, 10 million. Validity period, 7 days. Oh my god. 10 million. Su Chen was excited. This cashback card has a cashback amount of 10 million. In other words, as long as he spends 10 million within 7 days, he can maximize his profits. But, I don't even have 10 million in my card right now. Su Chen suddenly felt dizzy. He really only has 6 million in his bank card now. But the next moment, he slapped his forehead hard. Fuck, that's a bit stupid. Although I don't have 10 million, I can step on my right foot with my left foot. Isn't it okay to spend part of it first, and then use the cashback to spend more? Har har, I'm such a genius. Su Chen was very happy and had already made plans in his mind. Suddenly, another prompt popped up. Ding! The favorability mission has been released. Goddess, Lin Shuya. Task, the first cup of milk tea in autumn. Girls in love pay attention to details. They like to be remembered and held in the palm of their hands. Use your actual actions to warm her up throughout the autumn. Well. Su Chen was a little shocked. It seems to be true. Most girls do pay attention to details. They don't say it, but they hope men will take the initiative to do it and like men to guess what they are thinking. If they can't guess right, they will get mad. So some boys feel that their girlfriends are angry for no apparent reason. Sister Shuya gave herself to me last night, and I asked her to take medicine. She should really be given some little care. Thinking of this, Su Chen's old face turned red. But if I were to take the liberty of sending a cup of milk tea to Lin Shuya alone, it would attract the attention of so many employees in the company, which would obviously not be a good idea, right? Their relationship was kept secret. Su Chen thought about it carefully, and a solution emerged in his mind. Should work. He stepped on the accelerator and the Maybach S680 sped away. Thousands of tea drinks. Chen walked straight to the front desk and asked calmly, "Beauty, what do you have that tastes good?" When the beautiful waitress saw the sunny and handsome Chen, her face instantly turned red. The feeling of first love. This fairy is happy to get lemon, colorful fruit tea, and more. She introduced several popular drinks in the store. Chen understood and said, "Okay, then give me 5 cups of each of these, and if they are large, give them large. Then, call a delivery guy to make a delivery with me, and give him a tip." "Okay, sir. You have 35 cups here, 710 yuan. The little beauty said with a smile. Chen scanned the code to pay. Ding! Their host spent 710 yuan, triggering a random 5x cashback reward. Cashback amount, 3,550 yuan. It feels so good. Chen couldn't help but raise the corners of his mouth slightly. Spend money and get cash back. Really smooth. Soon, the beautiful girl called over a rice bowl delivery boy wearing a yellow robe. Chen gave him 200 yuan as a tip and asked him to go to Jinshan Media with him to deliver takeout. Then, such a scene occurred on the streets of Weihai City. A luxurious Maybach S680, followed by a M1 electric car. Feeling the confused gazes of countless passers-by, the delivery guy cried out in his heart. Rich people really know how to have fun. Jinshan Entertainment Media, Talent Scouting Department. Everyone is sitting in front of their computers, either working or slacking off. The glass door opened. Chen's figure appeared in the public's field of vision, followed by a delivery boy. "Brothers and sisters, thank you for your hard work. Come and have a cup of autumn milk tea." Chen's voice was neither too loud nor too soft, just loud enough for most people to hear. The delivery guy immediately understood. He thought that Chen was most likely the company's prince, and he was giving benefits to the employees. A very good boss. Seeing this, the male colleagues rushed over immediately. "Wow, Chen, you are so generous. Why did you buy so many milk teas for us? Wow, it's Chen Dao again. The milk tea here is delicious." The company suddenly became lively. The female colleagues were no longer reserved and gathered around to start choosing milk tea. "Chen is so thoughtful that he even sent us milk tea. Anyone who finds Chen as a boyfriend will definitely be very happy. Yeah, that's it. This bubble tea is delicious. It feels like it's bursting in your mouth. I feel like Chen's temperament is different today, he looks so handsome. So many cups, it must have cost a lot of money, right? It's really a waste. A man who eats someone's food is soft-hearted, and a man who takes someone's favor is thankless. Even colleagues who you don't talk to on weekdays can still praise you at this moment." However, at this moment, the delivery guy was dumbfounded. Because he discovered that Chen didn't seem to be the prince. But the staff here. What kind of script is this? A rich second generation coming here to experience life? The Maybach S680 downstairs is a steel-like proof, right? The delivery guy didn't dare to speak and was trembling. At this time, junior sister Chen Yang came over. She didn't rush to get the milk tea, but asked with concern, "Chen, why didn't you come to work today? Did you feel unwell this morning? Are you feeling better now?" Her smile was gentle and beautiful, like a spring breeze. Chen was slightly startled, and didn't want to make her worry, so he explained casually, "No, I stayed up late playing games, so I'll just take a day off." It is indeed a game being played, and it is a 2-player game at that. That's good. Chen Yang patted her plump breasts, seeming to be relieved. Chen suddenly felt a little guilty, picked up a cup of milk tea and handed it to her. "Here's a cup for you, drink it. Don't be polite with me." Looking at the milk tea in her arms, Chen Yang said with surprise, "Wow Tilder, it's still my favorite grass jelly milk tea. Thank you, brother Chen." Ding! Chen Yang's favorability with you increased by +5, and the current favorability is 74. Chen's mentality was a little broken. "Girl, could you please stop favoring me? I can't take responsibility." Just as the two were chatting, among the many colleagues, there was a young man with a sullen face and a sinister look in his eyes. Manager's office. The beautiful CEO Lin Shuyer had just finished the work at hand. Suddenly, the Human Resources Department sent her a message. When she saw the content above, her breathing stopped for a moment. My hands couldn't help but tremble slightly. Xiao Li from the Human Resources Department. Someone anonymously reported that Su Chen from the Talent Scouting Department was suspected of having an office romance. No way. Lin Shuya panicked, her eyes flickering. Has her secret relationship with Su Chen been leaked? Chapter 21 The Joy of Love. Lin Shuya was a little panicked. She thought her relationship with Su Chen was exposed. The next moment, the Human Resources Department sent another message. Xiao Li, it seems to be Su Chen and a girl named Chen Yang who is also in the talent department. Picture. Oh. Turns out it wasn't me. It was a false alarm. Lin Shuya breathed a sigh of relief, but then became startled again. No. Not me. Su Chen, this bad guy, is dating another girl. Two timing, huh? Her eyes turned cold and she clicked on the picture angrily. The above is a circle of friends sent by Sister Chen Yang. He tilde carrot he gave me the first cup of milk tea in autumn. Photo holding milk tea. Sure enough. This bastard. Lin Shuya clenched her pink little fists, she was so angry that she wanted to hit someone. If this is true, wouldn't she be deceived? Thinking of everything that happened between her and Su Chen last night, the sweet and ambiguous scenes emerged like a revolving lantern. The anger in her heart skyrocketed. Anger value +1+1+1. Knock knock. There was a knock on the door. Lin Shuya regained her composure. Come in. The door opened and closed carefully. Su Chen held a drink in his hand and said with a bright smile, Boss Lin, I brought you a drink. Hey, why do you look unhappy? He sensed a strong murderous aura. Lin Shuya pointed at her phone coldly, look for yourself. Su Chen tilted his head and glanced. I was instantly startled and my eyes widened. Damn it. Who is telling tales? This is sheer nonsense. Hearing this, Lin Shuya frowned slightly, her eyes glowing with a cold light. What's going on? Explain it to me. That's right. Su Chen shrugged and explained truthfully, I wanted to give you a drink, but I was afraid that it would be too conspicuous if I gave it to you alone. So in order to cover up the fact, I gave a drink to everyone in the department. Now they are all drinking. He expressed all his good intentions. Lin Shuya was speechless, and the frost on her pretty face melted. It seems that she did misunderstand. However, just to give her a drink, Su Chen actually bought a drink for everyone. This price is too high. Are you stupid? Why spend so much money? Lin Shuya scolded coldly, but felt sweet in her heart. Oh, don't worry about that. Sister Shuya, try it and see if it tastes good. I heard from the people in that store that this drink is their signature drink. If it doesn't taste good, I will complain to them. Su Chen handed her the drink and considerately inserted a straw into it. As for the complaint, it was just a joke. Lian Momo Ying? Such a girly name. Lin Shuya held the drink and took a sip. It's sour and sweet, and tastes pretty good. Su Chen was in a good mood as he looked at her smiling face. By the way, are you close to Chen Yang from your department? I looked at her moments and saw what she posted, the first cup of milk tea of autumn that he gave her. The beautiful CEO's tone was light and seemingly nonchalant, but in fact, she was harboring murderous intent. 1. That's a must. My damn charm is just that great. 2. No, I didn't feel it anyway. 3. Maybe she has a crush on me. Su Chen thought for a moment and replied, maybe she has some feelings for me. But she didn't communicate with me much in private, and I couldn't be so narcissistic as to tell her that I wanted to cut off ties with her. But I kept my distance, and we are just ordinary colleagues. Lin Shuya nodded slightly, you have passed the test. Su Chen chuckled and asked tentatively, well, since I performed so well, shouldn't you reward me? What reward do you want? Lin Shuya raised her cold and charming eyes and looked at him. Su Chen pointed to his handsome face and said, just kiss me, it's fine. I won't embarrass you. This is a company, how dare you do this? Come on, there's no camera and no one can see you. Okay, just for a moment. Lin Shuya was helpless. She stood on tiptoe and pecked Su Chen's handsome face lightly, like a dragonfly touching the water. But the next moment, she found that she had been fooled. Because Su Chen had already put his arms around her waist and kissed her sexy and soft red lips. Lin Shuya fell backwards without any force, her beautiful back hitting the desk. Tilder you rascal, what about the promise of just one kiss? He, Sister Shuyer's lips are so sweet and soft, but she just likes to be jealous, which is not a good habit. You hooligan, you pervert. How dare you tease me in the company? Be careful or I'll fire you. It's good to fire him. Then I will tell everyone about our affairs. You dare. Oh. Lin Shuyer's beautiful eyes widened, and her mouth was blocked again, her pretty face became red and hot. The once domineering beauty president now appears as a shy little woman in front of Su Chen. It is a rare contrast and extremely cute. Lin Shuyer suddenly realized that she seemed to be on Su Chen's pirate ship. He is not a docile little lamb at all, but a big bad wolf in sheep's clothing. Leave the company. In the Maybach. Ding. Congratulations on completing the favorability mission. Lin Shuyer's favorability with you +3, current favorability is 88 loving couple. Comfortable. Su Chen was in a very good mood. Just now he and the gorgeous CEO Lin Shuyer had been kissing passionately in the office, and the sweetness was still lingering on the corners of his mouth. It was such an enjoyable and exciting experience. You are getting closer to reaching 90 points of favorability with her, and then you will be able to receive generous favorability rewards. It's a perfect combination of love and career. This is life. Before, Su Chen had actually thought about being single for the rest of his life, but now he is experiencing the joy of being in love. It can only be described in 2 words. So delicious. At this time, his prestige rang out. The call came from LV shopping guide Miss Yisinu. Mr. Su, are you free today? I'll introduce my best friend to you. Her best friend, Xiao Mian, is rated as a baby-faced goddess with a score of 94 by the system. You can also get rewards by improving your favorability with her. Now is your chance. I'm free, where are you guys? Su Chen agreed on a meeting place with them and drove directly there. Hongfeng community, at the entrance. The 2 super beauties standing here gracefully and elegantly have become a beautiful landscape. The return rate is off the charts. Yisinu was wearing a light blue sheer hip skirt today, which showed off her curvy figure and her long legs were very eye-catching. Xiao Mian has an even more amazing figure, wearing denim shorts and a white navel-bearing short-sleeved shirt with a pattern. Her 36E figure is about to burst out, exuding a strong feminine glow. The skin of her long legs is smooth, white, and a little fleshy. Some young people may like Yisinu's thin standard figure, but men with a certain amount of experience will know that Xiao Mian's plump figure is quite top-notch. When many men see this pair of top goddess sisters, they can only admire them from afar and dare not approach them to chat. Without any strength or capital, are you going to go and humiliate yourself? At this time, in an Audi A7, a successful man dressed like a social elite is ready to make a move. He is an executive at a small financial company and earns nearly $1 million a year. He prepared his business card, got out of the car with a bright and confident smile, and planned to go over and chat with someone. Who would have thought? A cool Maybach S680 drove slowly and stopped steadily under everyone's gaze. The car door opened. A handsome figure appeared. Yisinu and Xiao Mian, the top goddess sisters, instantly had little stars in their eyes. Maybach S680. Luxurious, cool and handsome. The owner of the car, Su Chen, is handsome and has an extraordinary temperament. The smile on the Audi man's face disappeared instantly. He stood there in a daze, his hand holding the business card trembling. He just mustered up the courage to take the first step, but was defeated in an instant. I suffered a huge blow to my heart. He couldn't help but think of that very cruel and realistic saying in the animal world. Strong male animals can freely possess other females of the same species, while other weak males can only watch. And in front of Su Chen, he was just one of the weak males. Chapter 22 High emotional intelligence warms her up all day long. Yisinu took her best friend and quickly came to Su Chen, with a bright light in her beautiful eyes. Mr. Su, you look so handsome today. Wow. You're driving a Maybach. I've never ridden in a car like this before. By the way, this is my best friend Xiao Mian. Did she disappoint Mr. Su? The photos they posted on WeChat Moments were actually slightly edited. So Yisinu was still a little worried that Su Chen would feel that Xiao Mian's photo didn't match her real self and would be dissatisfied. Hello Mr. Su, nice to meet you. Xiao Mian stretched out her white and tender hand, and her voice was very gentle. She was the type who was very obedient, would not get angry no matter how she was bullied, and had a very good temper. Chen was a little surprised. He stretched out his hand and shook her lightly. Hello. Jia Mian's hands were soft and her skin was delicate and tender. It feels very good. Looking at her stunning figure and her harmless baby face, she is so adorable. Name, Jia Mian. Age, 21. Body, height 169 centimeters, 56 kilograms, baby face 36E. Overall appearance, 94 points. Favorability, 41. Love experience, 0. Current status, woohoo tilde little meow wants to lie down and doesn't he want to work hard anymore. Chen's eyes widened. Unexpectedly, Jia Mian has no experience in love. The system's vision is indeed unique. Besides, is she such a contrast? Want to lie down. Don't want to work hard. In the Maybach S680. The Berlin sound system played passionate and dynamic DJ music, and the atmosphere was very exciting. Chen operated the steering wheel with one hand, looking calm and composed. The luxurious interior made both women look surprised. The top-of-the-line Maybach, priced at 5 million renminbi, is known for its ultimate luxury and is no joke. Yi Xinyu, in particular, touched everywhere excitedly with her little face, feeling the texture of the leather seats and couldn't let go. That smells like money. Jia Mian, who was sitting in the passenger seat, seemed relatively quiet. She maintained a gentle and dignified sitting posture, with her long legs slightly together, and her skin was white, smooth, and beautiful. It's just that the seat belt is so broken that it makes her figure look even fuller and more evil. It reminds me of a woman named Yorong. Of course, Jia Mian also enjoyed this luxurious and comfortable life. Her dream was to do nothing, and it would be even better if she could just lie down. Mr. Su, the air conditioning in the car seems a little cold. Look, Mian Mian is shivering from the cold. Yi Xinyu is very clear about her position today. She is a wingman and must bring her best friend and Mr. Su together. Jia Mian's expression is very cute. Me. Shivering with cold. How come she doesn't know it herself? Chen glanced to the side. Should I lower the temperature? Yi Xinyu waved her hands quickly, smiling slyly. No, as long as Mr. Su, you personally help me and Mian warm up, that will be enough. 1. I am a gentleman, I would never do such a thing. 2. Don't you have hands? Do you still need me to do it? 3. Ask Jia Mian if she is cold, and keep her warm all day. Chen smiled, as if he understood something. This Yi Xinyu is really good at handling things. Are you cold? Chen smiled faintly and asked the good boy Jia Mian beside him. Jia Mian was slightly stunned, then nodded. Yeah, a little bit. Chen calmly stretched out his hand and placed it on her soft, white thigh. Soft and elastic tilde. Jia Mian closed her eyes and blushed shyly. Ding! Jia Mian's favorability with you +5, current favorability 46. Chen was delighted. Please do more good things like this next time. El Cafe, elegant environment. Chen and the others found a quiet place and sat down. Then ordered 3 cups of coffee and some snacks. Yi Xinyu slumped comfortably in the armchair. Hey, it's still better to be served. In the LV store, I have to be polite every day and smile at customers. It would be great if I could be like you, Mr. Su, and be financially free. She has a very straightforward personality and says whatever she thinks. Chen agreed. Yes, there are indeed many things in work that are beyond our control. But we can try to relax and enjoy life when we can. Well, I still have to thank Mr. Su for spending so much money on me last time. I don't have any performance pressure this month. Yi Xinyu smiled brightly and continued, Mr. Su, if you don't mind, you can just call me Xinyu from now on. As for her, you can call her Mian Mian like I do. Oh, right. She used to have a nickname, Little Lamb. She winked at Chen playfully. Jia Mian said coquettishly, Sister Xinyu, I don't want the nickname Little Sheep. I want to be called Little Meow tilde. Hee, the little lamb is so cute. It feels soft just like you. Mr. Su will definitely like it. Yi Xinyu was very lively and pinched Jia Mian's waist deliberately, but Jia Mian was very ticklish and dodged. It is a real pleasure to see this pair of gorgeous sisters competing with each other for beauty. It makes people feel good. What do you think, Mr. Su? I think it's cute whether Mian Mian is called Little Sheep or Little Cat. It depends on what she likes to be called. Su Chen thought so anyway and said it directly. That's right, Mr. Su is right. Chiao Mian immediately stood on the same front with Su Chen. Su Chen waved his hand. All right. Don't call me Mr. Su anymore. My name is Su Chen, I should be older than you. Yi Xinyu was delighted. Okay, then I will call you brother from now on. Mian Mian, you should also change your words quickly. Brother Su Chen tilde. Chiao Mian's voice was soft and sticky. It makes one's heart melt when listening to it, and one feels like bullying her. Chapter 23, this profession doesn't he seem very serious? Soon, coffee, desserts and other things were served. Su Chen and the others started eating and chatting. It turns out that Yi Xinyu and Chiao Mian have known each other since childhood, and Chiao Mian is her neighbor's sister. Whenever Chiao Mian is bullied, Yi Xinyu, her older sister, will step forward and protect her. Later, Chiao Mian worked in the LV store under Yi Xinyu's introduction. As a result, after just a few days, the store manager fired Chiao Mian because she was too stupid, slow to learn, and not sweet enough. He also scolded Yi Xinyu. Later, Chiao Mian cried and apologized to Yi Xinyu. The two of them felt aggrieved for several days because of this incident. After hearing this, Su Chen was immediately happy. Unexpectedly, Yi Xinyu is such a loyal person and she is a very competent sister. However, Su Chen was very curious about how stupid Chiao Mian was. Just got fired. He couldn't help but glance at Chiao Mian. She was beautiful and had a great figure, but her eyes were indeed silly and cute, like the clear stupidity of a college student. Does Mian Mian have a job now? Su Chen asked casually out of curiosity. This question choked the two women. Chiao Mian nodded and said honestly, yes, it was on the internet. Ahem. Yi Xinyu interrupted immediately and said, she is now a self-media blogger. Oh, that's the one, a fashion blogger, selling clothes. Right. Su Chen. I always feel like there's something fishy going on. Fashion blogger? Which platform? I'll check out her account. Su Chen was indeed a little curious. The other person is a fashion blogger, and seems to be an internet celebrity. He is an internet celebrity scout and is now a professional celebrity. This. Yi Xinyu was still a little embarrassed. Chiao Mian said sweetly, let's tell brother Su Chen. It's not good to lie. All right. Yi Xinyu sighed and said, brother Su Chen, do you have a musical note platform? Search for, Mian Mian is a cat tilde, the account with 120,000 followers is it? That's amazing, 120,000 fans. Su Chen was a little impressed. With this number of fans, if managed properly, as a clothing blogger, it would be absolutely no problem for a person to earn 30,000 or 40,000 yuan a month. But he discovered. Yi Xinyu held her head with her hand, looking distressed. So, why is that? Out of curiosity, Su Chen took out his mobile phone and opened the Info video platform. Search for, Mian Mian is a cat tilde, and you will find that there is indeed an account with 123,000 followers. Finally, I clicked in to take a look. Su Chen's eyes widened instantly. Chiao Mian is indeed a fashion blogger. She changes her outfit every day. She wears a mask and twists her waist in a youthful manner, showing off her perfect figure, accompanied by dynamic music in the background. The picture looks exciting and can't be stopped. There are also several videos of changing clothes, and the traffic is very high. The comments section below has already exploded. Reject beauty. Forget it, I can't do it. Mariler. I can't control myself when I see this. Miss, would you like to sell your stockings? Used ones are fine, not new ones. Oh no, I really like this. Everyone make way, this is my wife. Sister, please pamper me and kick me tilde tilde tilde. However, there are indeed a lot of clothes hanging in her window, so there is nothing wrong with calling her a fashion blogger. But this is clearly skirting the line. Seeing Su Chen fell silent. Yi Xinyu immediately explained, brother Su Chen, this idea was actually my idea. Mian Mian is stupid and can't do other jobs. So she can only clean windows and so on. Besides, we only sell normal clothes and don't do any crooked things. Our Mian Mian is actually very simple. She has never been in a relationship, really. She explained everything and tried her best to make Su Chen believe. Because in the public's mind, these bloggers are the kind that cannot be seen in public, and it is embarrassing to talk about them publicly. You say she is really innocent, who would believe it? 1. What? You say this borderline blogger is innocent? I won't believe it even if you kill me. 2. Of course I believe it, because I have already seen that Mian Mian is still a virgin. 3. Well, of course I believe it. I just feel a little sad and uncomfortable. You said that a simple girl is working hard to make a living in a way she doesn't like. This is actually very inspiring. If there is really no other way, who would choose this way? It's just that reality is too cruel. When Chen saw the third option, he really wanted to slap himself hard. Yes. You are so damn right. Just now, he actually had a flash of thought that Chen Mian was not clean. Damn me. Chen gathered his emotions for a moment and said in a deep voice, well, of course I believe it. I just feel a little sad and uncomfortable. He shook his head and smiled bitterly, then spread his hands helplessly and said solemnly, you said that a simple girl, for the sake of life, is desperately struggling in a way she doesn't like. Isn't this inspiring? Isn't it worthy of admiration? If there is no other way, who would choose this method? It's just that reality is too cruel. Chen seemed to be possessed by an award-winning actor. His acting skills soared tilde. Yi Sinyu and Chen Mian were both stunned. They looked at each other, and their eyes couldn't help but become red. So touched. These words really touched their hearts. Indeed, Yi Sinyu really had no other choice. Life in Weihai is stressful. Although the two sisters have a good relationship, she can't always support Chen Mian. So I tried to find some advice for Chen Mian, shoot videos for her, and find businesses to cooperate with. Just to sell a few orders of clothes, earn some living expenses and make a living. If it is not that way, how can we attract traffic and customers? However, Chen sees these things so thoroughly. Chen Mian was about to cry and said, Brother Chen, you are really good. Thank you for not despising me and being able to understand me. Woo woo tilde. As she spoke, she couldn't help but choke up a little. Oops. Chen hated to see girls crying, so he quickly stood up, handed her a tissue, and then touched her head. Silly girl, I've also been through hardships, how could I despise you? I feel sorry for you so much. Wow tilde brother Chen, you are so kind. Chen Mian's nose felt sore, and she burst into tears when she thought of her own difficulties, grievances and hardships. Yi Sinyu also had tears in her eyes as she comforted her little sisters. At the same time, her opinion of Chen underwent a drastic change. Chen is not at all like the other rich second generations who are arrogant and conceited. Instead, he is very down to earth and can empathize with others. And she looked into Chen's deep eyes and felt that he also had his own story. Perhaps he has experienced more suffering than anyone else. Because only when you are in that environment can you truly understand other people's actions and empathize with them. Ding! Yi Sinyu's favorability towards you increased by 10, and the current favorability is 75 points. Ding! Chen Mian's favorability with you increased by 20, and the current favorability is 66. You can receive the rewards for this stage. Damn, it's adding so fast. Chen was still feeling empathy just now, but he became excited the moment he saw the prompt. You can get rewards again. Cool. Chapter 24. It's just a small scene. Half an hour later. Chen took them out of the cafe. Buzz. A raw. Maybach S680, driving on the streets of Weihai, looks cool and handsome. Chen looked calm and controlled the steering wheel with one hand. But it feels like something is missing. Especially when he took advantage of Chen Mian and touched her head to comfort her, this feeling became even stronger. Suddenly, he noticed his empty wrists. Got it. As the saying goes, poor people play with cars, rich people play with watches. Now that he has money, shouldn't he buy a high-end watch to experience it? Brother Chen, where are we going later? Yi Sinyu was a little curious. Chen came back to his senses and said calmly, I want to buy a watch, do you have any good suggestions? Yi Sinyu is a salesgirl at LV, and her understanding of high-end luxury goods is definitely more thorough than his. So you can hear her opinion. Yi Sinyu felt valued and was delighted. She earnestly suggested, Brother Chen, you are so young. If you want to buy a watch worth hundreds of thousands of yuan, you can choose Omega. Their latest Solar Impulse series is very good. Hearing this, Chen nodded and continued, what about the more expensive ones, those worth millions? Jia Mian and Yi Sinyu were both shocked. As soon as you open your mouth, you ask for a watch worth millions? Brother Su Chen, you are so generous. Yi Sinyu said excitedly, if it's over $1 million, then of course it's Patek Philippe, which is known as the king of watches. Their moon and star tourbillon is a major feature. There's also Vacheron Constantine's overseas series, which is also very good. Patek Philippe, Vacheron Constantine. It seems that these two watch brands are indeed very well known. It was similar to Su Chen's original idea. Su Chen said calmly, do you have friends working in these stores? We can go over and take care of her business. Really not. What a pity. Yi Sinyu shook her head, looking regretful. She now wishes she could turn into a watch salesperson, so that she can get another order, right? Okay, then let's go to Patek Philippe. Su Chen reached out to adjust the navigation and change the destination. Next to her, Jia Mian said softly, Sister Sinyu knows a lot and can help Brother Su Chen. I am really too stupid. I am sorry, Brother Su Chen. Seeing her face full of self-blame, Su Chen was slightly startled and comforted her. It's okay, everyone has their own strengths. Of course, you also have your own strengths. What are the advantages? Jia Mian opened his eyes wide with curiosity, his face full of anticipation. Well. Before Su Chen could answer, Yi Sinyu answered immediately, your advantage is, of course, that you have a bigger vision. Anyway, it's much bigger than mine. She looked down at herself and felt really ashamed of herself. Even if Jia Mian was dumb, she understood and blushed instantly. Sister Sinyu, you're making fun of me again, tilde. She shyly used her arms to block it, but still couldn't resist the fullness that was about to burst out. Su Chen couldn't help but glance over. She has a beautiful face with a rosy complexion, a perfectly voluptuous body and an S-shaped figure. She is simply an angelic beauty. And his personality is so contrasting. It's so cute, I think. Patek Philippe flagship store, number 36, the Bund, Weihai City. The three of them got out of the car and were instantly attracted by the dreamy scenery before them. The ancient building is full of British style and is well located. The door is marked with a modern sign. Patek Philippe. Oh my god, I thought I came to the wrong place. He was a little surprised. This is indeed different from what Su Chen imagined. Yi Sinyu explained, because the location of this Patek Philippe was the official residence of the British ministers in the 19th century, its architecture has been preserved in its original appearance. But I have never been inside, so it should be modern, right? Oh, let's go then. Su Chen's expression quickly returned to calm. If he had come to such a high-end place in the past, he would have been really nervous, but now that he has money, he is naturally confident. Yi Sinyu held Su Chen's arm, looking relaxed. Jia Mian was very scared and said cautiously, Brother Su Chen, I'm a little nervous. Seeing her timid look, Su Chen took her hand and said, let's go, don't be afraid. It's just a small scene. Feeling the warmth of Su Chen's big hand, Jia Mian finally felt at ease. They officially entered Patek Philippe. The first thing that catches your eye is the large French chandelier above your head, which is dazzling and sparkling. There is mahogany floor under your feet and exquisite murals on the walls. Look around. They all reveal a high-end, luxurious atmosphere and are magnificent. Various models of Patek Philippe watches are displayed in the lifelike glass display cabinet. On the central advertising wall, there is a Patek Philippe Star Moon Tourbillon Series 5002P watch, with an advertising slogan. No one can own a Patek Philippe, you just keep it for your next generation. Su Chen was secretly shocked. Is this Patek Philippe so high-end? He previously thought that Patek Philippe stores were very similar to mobile phone stores, but now it seems that they are on a completely different level. Too luxurious. No wonder he can be called the Emperor of Watches. Yi Sinyu and Jia Mian also looked around in surprise, as if they were little girls from the country walking into a big city. At this time, a female shopping guide in a suit came up to the crowd with a smile. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Patek Philippe. She wore white gloves and placed her hands elegantly in front of her belly. She has a dignified figure and beautiful appearance. Su Chen quickly regained his composure and said calmly, I want to see the watch. Yes sir, this way please. The female shopping guide made a gesture of invitation, still with a faint smile on her face. Su Chen couldn't help but sigh. The more high-end the place is, the better the service attitude is. There was no neglect at all, nor any feeling of discrimination or unwelcomeness. They came to an exquisite display case. The female shopping guide extended her white-gloved hand and introduced with a smile, "You can take a look at these Aquanaut Diver Series watches, which are very suitable for your noble temperament." Well. Chen glanced into the display case. "I found that the watches in this series are all of average style, and they have one thing in common: the prices are between 100,000 and 200,000. He understood. This is because the female shopping guide positioned herself as an entry-level customer, so she introduced such a cheap watch to herself. However, the other party's service attitude was indeed very respectful, and he even praised himself for his noble temperament. Chen thought for a moment and said, "This is a bit cheap. By the way, don't you have a series of complicated timepieces that are pretty good?" Hearing this, the female shopping guide smiled dryly and said, "Yes, sir, our super complex timepiece series is the most high-end series of Patek Philippe. Of course, its price is relatively expensive." Her words were actually meant to discourage people from buying the product. After all, the products in this series all start at a price of 1 million. Ordinary people can't afford it. Unexpectedly, Chen said calmly, "Then let's buy something more expensive. I still have some budget." The female shopping guide was instantly surprised. She smoothed the hair by her ears and smiled brightly. "Okay. We'll go this way, sir." Chapter 25 Cashback on Purchases, that's awesome. The watches in the display cabinet this time are several levels higher than before, both in terms of appearance, design, and price. This 5370p is a very classic piece in the super complex timepiece series. Some people say that wearing it is like wearing world time on your wrist. One of our country's big stars is wearing this watch. You've seen the price, it's 1.86 million. The female shopping guide was trying hard to sell the product, fearing that the high price would scare Chen away. Chen certainly has his own opinions. When he sees a watch that he likes, he makes a decision immediately. "I want this one." He pointed to a watch in the display case. Everyone looked in the direction it pointed. It was a watch with a black starry sky background. The sky was dotted with countless stars, like a Milky Way. The crocodile leather strap, transparent sapphire crystal disc, and champagne gold diamond set bezel compose its extraordinariness. The female shopping guide was stunned for a few seconds, then confirmed, "Sir, is this the 6104001 starry sky top you want? Its price is 4.12 million. Chen said calmly, "Yes, that's it. Wrap it up." The female shopping guide was completely stunned and her smile became even brighter. She had previously sold Chen a watch worth hundreds of thousands of yuan, and later tried her best to sell him a watch worth more than 1 million yuan. But now, Chen directly asked for a watch worth more than 4 million. This is simply rich and inhumane. Okay, sir, I'll prepare it for you right away." The female shopping guide had been very calm before, but now she was obviously nervous and excited when she spoke. You seemed to see in her the shocked look on her face when Chen spent a huge amount of money. "Exactly the same. The only difference is that I changed from buying clothes to buying watches. You know, this is a watch worth more than 4 million. Chen actually bought it right away without blinking, as if it was as easy as drinking water. Xiao Mian looked even more adorable. She was counting on her white and tender fingers, using her not-so-bright brain to do some calculations. She now posts short videos and sells clothes, and can only earn a little over 10,000 yuan a month. After deducting living expenses like clothes and cosmetics, she only has 3,000 yuan left at most. So that's 36,000 a year. Oh my god. If I want to buy this watch, it will take me more than 100 years. Xiao Mian couldn't help but open his mouth and exclaimed. Yisenu was dumbfounded. More than 100 years? Wouldn't I have turned into ash long ago? The super rich man Chen is so terrifying. Patek Philippe, service front desk. After completing some purchasing procedures, Chen swiped his credit card to pay. Ding! Your current consumption amount is 4,120,000 yuan, triggering a random 3x cashback reward. Congratulations on getting cashback, 12,360,000 yuan. Triple cashback, really cool. Chen was very excited. He bought a watch worth 4 million and received a cashback of more than 10 million. This cashback card is really a good thing. Moreover, there is still more than 5 million yuan of credit limit left, and it is estimated that a lot of cash back can be obtained. Mr. Su, do you need me to put it on for you? The female shopping guide's face turned slightly red. Now that she had seen Su Chen's financial resources, her eyes became hot. Well, come on. Su Chen sat on the chair and stretched out his left hand calmly. The female shopping guide solemnly took out the Patek Philippe 6110 for a starry sky watch worth more than 4 million from the exquisite watch box. Carefully put it on Su Chen. Wow, tilde Mr. Su, you look so handsome wearing it. It really suits your noble temperament. She clapped her hands and showed admiration on her face. The emotional value is given quite well. When Yi Xinyu heard this, she felt a strong sense of crisis. This female shopping guide is not a good person. Then I will compete with you in pinching. She immediately changed into a cute girlish voice and spoke exaggeratedly in a pinched voice. Oh my god. This Patek Philippe watch can only fully reflect its value when worn on your hand, brother Su Chen. It is shining brightly under your noble temperament. Brother Su Chen is so handsome. Awesome. The female shopping guide felt a dark sensation in front of her eyes and felt an invisible sense of oppression. The other party was a master. Seeing this, Su Chen couldn't help but smile. Although these words sound very exaggerated, it feels so good to hear them in your heart. He looked at the Patek Philippe on his wrist with satisfaction. Something worth 4 million is just worn on a hand. It's like playing a game, wearing a top quality piece of equipment, it's so cool. Mr. Su, let's add each other's contact information. You can contact me at any time for any after sales issues regarding watches. My name is Liu Xian, you can just call me Xiao Liu. Su Chen glanced at her, and the system immediately popped up a prompt. Name, Liu Xian. Age, 27. Body, height 168 centimeters. Overall appearance, 81 points. Favorability, 56. Seeing this, Su Chen could only shake his head. Obviously, she does not meet the system's assessment criteria for being a goddess. When Yi Xinyu saw the female shopping guide trying to build relationships, she felt like she was facing a formidable enemy. She quickly whispered to Chia Mian, hurry up and make a move. Otherwise, brother Su Chen will be snatched away. That bad woman is not a good person. Me. Make a move. Chia Mian's pretty face turned red and she felt dizzy, not knowing what to do. So, she carefully pulled Su Chen's sleeve and said softly, brother, when are we leaving? Su Chen turned around and looked at her with a silly look on her face. 1. What is going on? What are you doing with me, you little idiot? She is so angry. 2. Okay, let us go now. Conservative. 3. You guys have been shopping with me for so long, but I haven't rewarded you yet. Go pick one, I'll pay. Arrogant. It seems that we can only choose between options 2 and 3. He now has a cashback system, how about we just go all out? Su Chen glanced at Yi Xinyu and smiled faintly, you two have been shopping with me for a long time. It's been quite tiring. Let's go, Xinyu, take me and with you and pick out 2 pieces you like. I'll pay for it. The 3 women were stunned for a moment, standing there like wooden chickens. Yi Xinyu was extremely excited. She didn't expect that Su Chen would actually give them 2 watches. The cheapest one costs hundreds of thousands. It seems that Xia Mian, this silly sister, is the best. The future depends on her. Chapter 26, seems like he has become a breakup master. Yi Xinyu was very sensible and only took Xia Mian to look at entry-level watches. Of course, even for the entry level, it would cost hundreds of thousands. For ordinary people, this is not a small amount of money. But Su Chen felt that entry-level watches were too ordinary and the designs were not very good-looking, so he immediately asked them to be bolder and look at higher-end ones. Seeing this, the female shopping guide Liu Xian was extremely envious and her eyes were full of admiration. If you accompany Su Chen shopping once, you can get a watch worth hundreds of thousands as a reward. Such a good thing, she would be willing to do it. She would even be happy to accompany Su Chen to do other things. After all, Su Chen is so young and handsome. At the same time, a couple was also looking at watches in this exhibition hall, both of them were dressed very brightly. The woman was wearing heavy makeup and looked very seductive. Her appearance and figure were probably rated 80 points, so she was definitely a beauty. She hugged the man's arm and said coquettishly, "Brother Hao, can you buy me a watch? I really like this rose gold classic watch. It's only 250,000 yuan, which is a piece of cake for Brother Hao. Brother Hao curled his lips and said unhappily, only 250,000? Do you think money is so easy to make? Just enjoy it. R. The seductive woman was not happy and said noisily, other boyfriends buy bags, watches, and cars for their girlfriends, but you only brought them here for me to see. What else? Brother Hao said proudly, it's good enough that I brought you here to see the world, but you still have such high demands. Did you see that guy? He pointed at Chen not far away. The seductive woman nodded, well, what's wrong? Brother Hao laughed and said, he brought two beautiful girls with him, didn't he just come to have a look? Are you still feeling unbalanced? The charming woman remained silent, unable to refute. Who knows, the next moment. Chen pointed to the display case and said calmly, this one, and this one, wrap them up for me. The ladies looked shocked. Looking at the two women's watches in the display case, sparkling with diamonds. Yi Xinyu and Xiao Mian opened their mouths immediately, with little stars twinkling in their eyes. Patek Philippe 20 tilde for 4,908 white gold with diamonds. 965,000 yuan. Patek Philippe Gondolo 7099 are rose gold. 920,000 yuan. Oh my god, brother Chen. These two watches, are they too expensive? Yi Xinyu couldn't help but exclaim. Even though Chen had previously told them to choose a watch for themselves, the watches she had been looking at actually didn't cost more than 300,000. Who would have thought that Chen would make the decision for them and order two ladies' watches worth nearly 1 million each? Indeed, it is too expensive. Xiao Mian's fullness rose and fell slightly, and she breathed quickly and said, Brother Chen, how about we change to something cheaper? Chen smiled calmly, don't you like these two models? I like it, of course I like it. This is the price. Yi Xinyu paused, her face flushed red. She was afraid that if she continued talking, Chen might really regret it. No one dislikes money, and she is no exception. But she was still a little flattered by such an expensive gift. Chen didn't think too much about it and said calmly, it's enough to like it. You don't have to care about the price. Xiao Liu, get down to business. He waved his hand. The female shopping guide immediately came to her senses. Okay, Mr. Su, please wait a moment. She began to prepare. Beside. Seeing this, the charming woman became even more envious and jealous. She quickly grabbed the man's arm and shook it wildly. Brother Hao. Didn't you just say that he was just looking around with his girlfriend? Now that he's bought it, what do you say? I want you to buy me one too. Hearing this, Brother Hao's face turned very ugly. If they have money, they can buy it. Why are you so ignorant that you have to compete with them? The seductive woman continued to chatter, unconvinced. What's wrong with me? Is it difficult for me to ask you to buy me a watch? Doesn't your family have tens of millions of assets? Why are you not willing to spend a little money on me? That's my family's money. Just look at a watch. It costs 250,000. How the hell can I afford it? Brother Hao was so angry that his face turned red. I don't care, you have to buy it for me today, otherwise we will break up. Damn it, let's break up. Okay. You said so, don't come to me again, scumbag. The seductive woman was so angry that she turned her head and walked away. No, you. Brother Hao was confused. How could he really run away? He noticed everyone's strange looks and felt embarrassed, wanting to find a hole to crawl into, and quickly chased after the woman. Seeing this scene, Chen couldn't help but sigh. Well, it's better to have money. Otherwise, it would be really embarrassing if your girlfriend wants to buy something but you don't have enough money to buy it. Even if my girlfriend was sensible at the time, what about in the long run? Will there be conflicts due to material reasons? At that time, should I blame my girlfriend for being materialistic and realistic? Or should I blame myself for not being able to let my girlfriend enjoy a good life? After all, as long as you have money, these things are no problem. Yi Xinyu was surprised and said, Brother Chen, it seems that they really broke up. Chen, what's the matter? Xiao Mian. Chapter 27. I heard that Michelin 3 stars require reservations. I went to the Patek Philippe service counter and paid the bill. Yi Xinyu and Xiao Mian, two top goddess sisters, stretched out their fair and slender hands and put on Patek Philippe watches worth millions at the same time. The diamonds on their watches sparkle like stars, and the platinum and rose gold are even more dazzling and charming, making their temperament suddenly rise to a higher level. Noble and elegant. Their smiles blossomed like peach blossoms. They were taking pictures of their watches with their mobile phones and praising them highly. Wow, it's so beautiful. The diamonds on it are so shiny. I love it. Brother Chen, that's really great. Yeah, you have a great eye too. I really like this 7099 rose gold piece. It's so elegant tilde. Brother Chen is simply the best man in the world. If anyone can marry him, they will definitely be happy for the rest of their lives tilde. Hearing the two girls chatting happily, Chen was in a very good mood. The system sent prompts one after another. Their host's consumption was detected to be 965,000, triggering a random 2x cashback. Their host's consumption is detected to be 920,000, triggering a random 3x cashback. Amount of cashback received, 1,930,000 yuan. Amount of cashback received, 2,760,000 yuan. The multiples were average, but I still made close to 3 million. Chen glanced at his phone silently. I found that the deposit in the bank card has skyrocketed to more than 17 million. It's so cool. However, the balance on his consumption cashback card was only over 3 million. Come and get your new reward. He opened the favorability panel. Yisinyu's favorability towards you +5. Current favorability is 80 points. Mian's favorability with you +5. Current favorability is 71 points. Currently, you can receive the goddess Mian, 60 favorability and 70 favorability, 2 stages of rewards. Host, do you want to receive it immediately? Do you have any cashback cards? Another one. Chen's mouth corners slightly raised, and then he chose to receive all. Ding! Congratulations to their host for winning the reward, one night in the presidential suite of Grand Hyatt Hotel. Value, 228,000 yuan. Ding! Congratulations to their host for triggering a critical hit, and get the reward, 20% partner shares of Pavilion Michelin 3-star restaurant. Value, 80 million. Fuck! 80 million. Chen was completely excited. He was still conservatively hoping for a cashback card, but he got lucky and got a critical hit. Pavilion Michelin 3-star restaurant, 20% partner shares. This is good stuff. This means that Chen only needs to lie down at home and the chef will work for him, and he only needs to collect the dividends at home. Moreover, if Chen really doesn't want it, he can sell the partnership shares. Even if it can't be sold for 80 million, it should be easy to sell for 40 or 50 million. So cool. Just as he was distracted, he felt a soft and wet touch on his cheek. Newer tilde. 2 overlapping kisses were heard. Yisinyu and Mian, the perfect sisters, stood on the left and right sides of Chen respectively, stood on tiptoe, and pecked him lightly on both cheeks at the same time. Brother Chen, thank you for the gift. We like it very much. Yisinyu blushed shyly and asked gently, what were you thinking about just now? Just after she finished taking the photos, she suggested that she and Mian kiss Chen together to express their gratitude. After all, the watches Chen gave them totaled nearly 2 million. Such a heavy thought. How can we feel good if they don't express their feelings? Chen quickly regained his composure and said with a smile, I was thinking about what to eat tonight. How about going to Pavilion? Pavilion. Yisinyu's eyes lit up, and she was very surprised. This is a Michelin 3-star restaurant. I heard that if you want to eat here, you need to make a reservation a week in advance to get a seat. Mian nodded and said cutely, yeah tilde I saw it online too. A lot of people check in here. Brother Chen, if we reserve a seat now, it will be too late. From what they said, it seems that this 3-star Michelin restaurant Pavilion is quite impressive. You have to book a week in advance to get a seat. I'll call and ask, maybe there's something unexpected going on. Chen's mouth corners slightly raised, then he picked up the phone and dialed the contact number of the chef, Anderson Matt. The call was connected quickly. A slightly awkward Chinese voice came from the other end, and the attitude was very respectful. Hello, Mr. Su. I am Anderson Matt, the head chef of Pavilion. Thank you very much for your favor and becoming the only partner of our Pavilion. This is an affirmation of me. Chen smiled calmly and said, you're welcome, Chef Anderson. Your cooking skills have long been famous, and I like food and investment. So, it can be considered a fate. Hearing this, Anderson could not hide his joy and said excitedly, Mr. Su, thank you for your praise. I don't know when you are free. I sincerely invite you to visit Tian Pavilion and give me the opportunity to personally entertain you to express my gratitude. Su Chen said casually, I happen to have time tonight, I won't disturb you, right? Oh no. It would be my great pleasure. Anderson looked excited. He knew very well that Su Chen must be a big shot since he could spend so much money to invest in his restaurant. You must make friends with them, or even curry favor with them. They then chatted briefly and agreed on a time. Su Chen hung up the phone first. Chiao Mian and Yi Xinyu both looked at him in shock. Oh my god. Su Chen is actually the only partner of Tian Pavilion's 3-star restaurant. The chef personally invited him to taste the food. That is so awesome. Chapter 28 Romantic Candlelight Dinner Tilder. Wei Hai City welcomes its night. The night sky is dotted with stars. Tian Pavilion has 3 Michelin stars and is located near the Marina Gardens. Billions of lights are flickering in the surrounding residential buildings, giving people a warm and intimate feeling. There is a sense of comfort, far away from the hustle and bustle of the city, in a peaceful and tranquil environment. The calm and handsome Maybach S680 stopped steadily not far away. Su Chen, hand in hand with the 2 super beauties, walked towards Tian Pavilion. See this scene. Chef Anderson, who had been waiting at the door for a long time, immediately smiled and came forward to greet them with another young Chinese man next to him. Mr. Su. Welcome to Tian Pavilion. I am Anson Mat, who you contacted on the phone. Anderson is a typical French man with blonde hair and blue eyes. His career could be written into a book. He became a chef at the age of 25, won 2 Michelin stars in France at the age of 33, gave up everything to pursue love and came to China to start a business at the age of 43, and last year when he was 48 years old, Tian Pavilion was finally awarded 3 Michelin stars. Foreigners are arrogant in nature, but at this moment they are particularly gentle, respectful and humble. Perhaps it is the influence of Chinese culture. But it was more out of respect for Su Chen's identity. Yi Xinyu and Chiao Mian, the 2 best sisters, were already stunned. Where have they ever encountered such a scene? If you want to eat here, you have to make a reservation 7 days in advance. The chef greets you at the door. It was like a dream. Hello, Chef Anderson. Nice to meet you. Su Chen simply shook hands with him. Anderson smiled and continued to introduce, this is Tian Pavilion Su's chef Zhu Wei, who was born and raised in Wei Hai. My Chinese is not very good, and I hope Mr. Su can forgive me. Modest. Su Chen smiled faintly and gave a thumbs up, your Chinese is very good. Good. Everyone laughed heartily. Su's chef Zhu Wei also extended his hand respectfully, Mr. Su, I am Zhu Wei. I will accompany the chef to serve you throughout tonight to ensure you have a good dining experience. Okay, thanks. Su Chen smiled and shook hands with him politely. The other party is also Chinese, so communication is indeed more convenient. Everyone walked into Tian Pavilion. The decoration is full of French style, the atmosphere is elegant and very romantic. Chef Anderson, invite Su Chen and the other 2 in. It has become the focus of the entire restaurant. The diners cast passionate and envious glances at them. Being personally received by Chef Anderson means that he is the most distinguished guest of the restaurant. Yi Xinyu and Chiao Mian were deeply shocked, and their previous cognition was refreshed. Truly feel what honor means. At this moment, they are particularly clear about the feeling of honor. When they looked at Su Chen, their eyes were already filled with little stars of admiration. After a while, everyone arrived at the 2nd floor of the restaurant. Anderson entertained Su Chen and the other 2 and sat them down at a window seat. The night outside the window is quiet and the scenery is beautiful. The burgundy semicircular sofa is matched with a grey-black marble round table with beautiful patterns. In the center vase is a bunch of bright red roses and candles are lit, creating a romantic atmosphere. Su's chef Zhu Wei smiled and said, Mr. Su, this is the best seat in the restaurant that we have reserved for you. There is a pianist dedicated to you over there, and you can order any song you like at any time. The chef said tonight that you just need to enjoy yourself and don't need to spend any money. He will take care of all the food. Thank you very much again for your kindness. After listening to this passage, Yi Xinyu and Chiao Mian opened their beautiful eyes wide, looking at the beautiful blonde pianist sitting in front of the piano on the right, and their hearts became even more excited and overwhelmed. Even Su Chen was a little shocked. This is fucking. No need to order, no need to pay anything, the chef will personally cook for you. It feels so good to have money. After spending 80 million to become a partner of Thai and Pavilion, the treatment you enjoy is indeed different. A quarter of an hour later. Led by Chef Anderson, he was followed by 6 formally dressed waiters, each pushing a small food cart. With smiles on their faces, they walked towards Su Chen's table in a mighty procession. The diners, both men and women, all looked at him in shock. This kind of scene is rare to see. What kind of distinguished guest is worthy of such imperial treatment? Chef Anderson picked up the most exquisite bottle of red wine on the dining cart and walked to Su Chen with a smile. Mr. Su, excuse me. This is a bottle of Romanée Conti 1996 that I have treasured for many years. I am grateful to you for visiting Thai and Pavilion today. I wish you a romantic night tonight. He smiled gently and carefully placed the bottle of 1996 Romanée Conti on the wine rack. Then he turned around and instructed the waiter. Serve the meal. Immediately afterwards, the waiters began to place the food from the small food cart on Su Chen and his friend's table. Although the portions are small, the dishes are beautifully presented and look very classy. And the bottle of 1996 Romanée Conti red wine also began to be decanted under Su Chen's instructions. Yisinu and Xiaomion's eyes lit up. These French dishes look delicious. I really want to start eating right away and enjoy it. And, out of curiosity, Yisinu searched the price of the 1996 Romanée Conti red wine. The result surprised her even more. One bottle costs around 300,000 yuan. Even if you have money, you can't buy it. Chapter 29. I want to be the best baby of brother Su Chen tilde. Anderson smiled and said respectfully, Mr. Su, here are 24 dishes, please enjoy them first. The rest will be served to you soon. If you like any of the dishes, you can tell Zhu Wei and we will prepare them for you immediately. Tonight's menu was obviously carefully prepared by Chef Anderson. Not only are there 60 dishes in total, but each dish is different. It was just to entertain Su Chen and show friendship. Well, that's troublesome. Su Chen nodded with satisfaction, then glanced at the top-notch sisters sitting on his left and right. Then let's eat. Good. Yisinu was very excited. She picked up the fork on the table, but suddenly hesitated. But, brother Su Chen, these delicacies are all different. Can I eat whatever I want? Su Chen said calmly, eat whatever you want. There are dozens more dishes to come, let's try different flavors. Then I won't be polite, brother Su Chen. Xiaomian was looking forward to it. She couldn't wait any longer. Her stomach was growling with hunger. They officially started their meal. If you eat something delicious or find it special, you can ask Zhu Wei about how to cook the food or how to pair the ingredients. Zhu Wei, who was originally the Su's chef, now acted as a waiter for them. Introduced the food enthusiastically. This dish uses ancient-style carrots as carvings, yogurt and curry smoothie to make your taste buds bloom. This dish uses molecular gastronomy, with oysters served with tapioca balls and ice grass, which makes the oysters taste fresh and not greasy. This dish is red shrimp and asparagus, served with kumquat and sancho sauce. And this one looks a bit like tofu, but it's actually made with scallops and morels. Su Chen and his friends ate while listening to Zhu Wei introduce the dishes. Quite interesting. Moreover, French cuisine can combine many unrelated ingredients together. Some of them tasted very good, but a few were not acceptable to Su Chen's taste. Brother Su Chen, try this of mine, it's quite delicious. Yisinu picked up a piece of food with a fork and handed it to Su Chen's mouth to feed him. Su Chen opened his mouth and accepted the feeding. Xiaomian was not to be outdone, forking food, brother Su Chen, try my scallops, they are so fresh. Su Chen swallowed it again. The scallop she fed was indeed very fresh and tender, but I wonder what the other one would taste like. Night, candlelight dinner. The melodious sound of the piano rang out. The red wine glasses clinked in front of the candlelight, reflecting the happy shadows of everyone. As they exchanged cups, the atmosphere became charming and romantic. Yisinu and Xiaomian were both drunk, their pretty faces flushed like peach blossoms. I have a great time tonight tilde. Yisinu looked at such a romantic scene and said in a sweet voice with joy, Brother Su Chen, can I take a picture? Su Chen glanced at her. The light blue dress that hugs her hips makes her figure look fuller and straighter, and her rosy and slightly tipsy face makes her look very charming. He retracted his gaze and said, "Sure, you can take any photo you want." Yi Xinyu smiled charmingly and said, "Then, you hug me and sister Mian Mian, and we take some photos together." He tilde hugged me on both sides. Do you like it? Brother Su Chen. Bring it on. Su Chen was too lazy to think so much. Isn't he just taking a photo? The corners of his mouth rose, and he put his arms around the soft waists of the two top beauties, leaning back on the sofa in a casual and unrestrained manner. This kind of fulfilling feeling is simply an imperial experience. Such a great enjoyment. After taking the photos, Yi Xinyu looked at the beautiful photos on her phone with a bright and beautiful smile. Suddenly, her mind wandered, and she looked up and said, "Brother Su Chen, how about, you just keep me on from now on?" As soon as these words came out, Su Chen and Xia Mian were stunned and couldn't help but look at each other. Xia Mian's cute face turned even redder. Yi Xinyu smiled sweetly and continued, "Look, Brother Su Chen, Mian Mian has a great figure and a big butt that's big enough to give birth to a baby. She's also very well behaved and obedient. If you let her be your girlfriend, she will change her clothes every day just for you to see. Sailor uniforms, JK, cosplay, etc., all are fine. Whatever you want to do, she can satisfy you. How great is that?" After hearing this, Su Chen was moved. Name, Xia Mian. Current status, desire, woohoo tilde I don't want to work hard anymore, it would be great if Brother Su Chen was willing to raise me, I want to be his kitten tilde. He showed a faint smile and looked at Xia Mian. She was wearing a white t-shirt that exposed her belly today. Her full breasts were revealed, and the ravines between her snow-white peaks were simply beautiful. She has such a great figure, but she has a cute baby face. At this moment, Xia Mian was looking at him with anticipation. 1. It turns out that Mian Mian is a little girl. Call her master and I will support you. Hugs her waist and smiles evilly. 2. Want to seize the future. Come, now. 3. Mian Mian, I want to hear your true thoughts. Don't feel any pressure. I won't force you. I just want you to be happy. Playing hard to get. After thinking about it, Su Chen held her little hand and asked gently, "Mian Mian, can you tell me what you think? Don't feel any pressure. I just hope you can happily do what you want to do." His gentle attack made Xia Mian, who was already a little dull, anxiously have tears in her eyes. Her cute little face turned red as she said with difficulty, "Brother Su Chen, I am very happy with you, I like you. As long as Brother Su Chen doesn't dislike me tilde I will be good and obedient. I won't cause any trouble to Brother Su Chen." Yi Xinyu was a little surprised when she heard these words. Because Xia Mian has never been good at expressing her emotions, but Su Chen actually made her say the words, "I like you." It's absolutely unprecedented. Su Chen's face was full of heartache. He wiped the tears from Xia Mian's eyes with his big hands and comforted her. Mian Mian is so good and cute. I like you the most. From now on, you don't have to work hard. Just be my baby, okay? Xia Mian's eyes sparkled with surprise, and he said firmly, "Okay, I want to be my brother's most obedient baby tilde." As she said that, she threw herself into Su Chen's arms and asked for a hug, like a cute little kitten acting coquettishly to its owner. Feeling the soft and wonderful touch in his arms, Su Chen felt extremely happy. Ding! Xia Mian's favorability with you +4, current favorability 75. The picture is beautiful. Yi Xinyu's face was full of envy and her mood was very complicated. She didn't want to work hard either, she also had a good impression of Su Chen. However, even though she behaved very obviously, Su Chen seemed to not notice her at all. She was very puzzled. Obviously, the gap between her and Xia Mian was not that big, so why did Su Chen like Xia Mian? But you are not interested in her at all. Alas tilde. Yi Xinyu shook her head, picked up the red wine glass, swirled it lightly and took a sip. Then he smiled again and said, "Mian Mian, have some more wine. This is Romane Conti, and it costs 300,000 yuan a bottle. We can't waste it." "Well, this one is very valuable." Xia Mian raised her wine glass with a slightly red face. She felt that what she drank was not red wine, but the taste of money. Su Chen raised the corner of his mouth, having seen through Yi Xinyu's thoughts. She wanted to get Xia Mian drunk and then let herself go with the flow, right? What a good friend. Chapter 30 Shuyer's wife is here to check on her. Should she be coaxed into sleep? After 3 rounds of wine, the delicious food is eaten. Brother Chen, we are drunk, shall we go and rest? Brother Chen, I feel dizzy too. I want to sleep tilde. Yisinyu and Xiaomian drank so much that their faces turned red, and their eyes seemed to be covered with a layer of mist, hazy and blurred. Chen remembered the reward he received today, which happened to be a presidential suite in a hotel. Don't waste it. He ended the dinner early. After a brief chat with Chef Anderson, he asked Zhu Wei to be his designated driver and drive them to the center of Wei Hai City Center building. The building has a total height of 630 meters, 127 floors above ground, and is known as the Peak of Wei Hai. Chen and the other two took the high-speed elevator to the front desk of Grand Hyatt Hotel to check in. Led by their hotel butler, they came to the presidential suite of Grand Hyatt Hotel on the 98th floor. The space is spacious and bright, full of luxury. World-famous furniture brands can be found everywhere, and even shower gel and shampoo are luxury brands. The two sisters, Yisinyu and Xiaomian, looked around and touched things, their faces showing unconcealed joy. Oh my god! It costs 220,000 yuan to stay here for one night. I feel like it's a waste to close my eyes and sleep. Wow tilde there are also indoor hot springs, jacuzzis, and saunas. I really want to enjoy them. If it weren't for Brother Chen, we would never have lived here in our lifetime tilde. Chen looked calm as he stood in front of the spacious floor-to-ceiling windows, overlooking the bustling night scene of Wei Hai City, feeling particularly relaxed. Brother Chen, what are you looking at? Xiaomian happily ran to the man and exclaimed, wow! It's so high here. I'm afraid I'll fall down. Hey! Brother, look, that's the Oriental Pearl Tower. Looking at it from here, it feels so short and small. She grabbed Chen's arm, feeling scared and excited. Chen said with a smile, are you afraid of heights? Xiaomian nodded, yeah, a little bit. But with my brother by my side, I'm not afraid anymore. Chen raised the corner of his mouth slightly and put his arms around Xiaomian's slender waist. Yisinyu's voice jokingly rang out from the side, it would be better if it was higher. Even if you and Mianmian do something shameful here, no one will see it. Suddenly, Xiaomian's face turned even redder, and she said cutely, Sister Sinyu, what are you talking about? I don't understand at all tilde. Her eyes were sparkling with stars as she looked at Chen expectantly, her lips moving slightly, as if hinting at something. Chen hugged her tightly and bent down to kiss her. Xiaomian moaned softly, then fell limply into the man's arms, trying her best to cooperate. Yisinyu was stunned. She just said it casually. Are you serious? She quickly backed away and calmed down. A few minutes later, Chen was preparing to go deeper and take the next step. Unexpectedly, his cell phone rang. The lips part and the movement stops. Xiaomian opened her beautiful eyes, her expression had already become blurred and intoxicated, with a crystal clear thread stretched out. Then she threw herself into Chen's arms. Chen looked at the incoming call and it turned out to be from Lin Shuyer. This is trouble. 1. Answer? Answer it. Reject Lin Shuyer's call and let her have fun on her own tilde. 2. Accepting Lin Shuyer's call in person is exciting. 3. Let Xiaomian avoid the situation first, and then accept Lin Shuyer's call. See these 3 options. Chen's head was a little overwhelmed. He thought quickly for a moment and chose the 3rd option. Mianmian, go to my room, take a shower and wait for me. Chen rubbed her head gently and said with a smile, I'll take a call from the company to discuss something. I'll come back to see you soon. Yes. Xiaomian nodded with a blushing face, and said in a soft voice, baby will be obedient and wait for brother Chen. So good. Chen touched her cute face and watched her walk into her room. Ding! Xiaomian's favorability with you +1. Then, Chen immediately answered Lin Shuyer's call. Chen, sister is sleepy. The beautiful female CEO spoke softly, having put away her usual sharpness and revealed her gentle side in private. Chen knew that she had hardly slept today, and at this point in time, she had just returned home from work. Then go to sleep, I'm here. Lin Shuyer puffed up her cheeks and made a muffled sound. She looked very cute and her voice was rarely coquettish. I can't sleep. I want to hear you tell me a story. If you find that I haven't replied to you, hang up the phone. When women are sleepy, they usually sound groaning and look very cute. Chen nodded and said with a smile, then I'll go online and search for some short stories and tell them to you. Lin Shuyer uttered a soft tilde, her voice full of infinite charm and tenderness. Well, tell me quickly. If you don't, I'll fall asleep. Lin Shuyer felt sleepy and muttered on the pillow, and then her voice gradually became quieter. Chen. Sister Shuyer, it turns out you have such a cute little woman side. At the same time. Presidential suite, master bedroom. Jia Mian walked out of the bathroom, her S-shaped body was fully displayed, and crystal water drops slid down her beautiful curves onto the carpet, which was extremely beautiful. Elder brother. Thinking of Chen's handsome figure, Jia Mian's body was already getting hot. She lifted the quilt and lay on the bed, wrapping herself in it, her pretty blushing face showing joy and anticipation. I will be a good boy and wait for brother Chen to come back. Wow tilde I drank a lot of red wine, I feel a little dizzy. Jia Mian lay on the big bed and waited, gradually becoming sleepy. Half an hour later. Ding! Your favorability with Lin Shuyer +1. Current favorability 89. It took me half an hour to get her to sleep this time. But it's not bad to be able to improve my favorability with Shuyer a little bit. Then you can claim the big reward for stage 90. Chen was in a good mood and returned to his room. I found that Jia Mian was already lying on the bed, sleeping soundly. Chen was slightly startled, then sat on the edge of the bed, quietly looking at her lovely appearance. Jia Mian's eyelashes trembled slightly, her breathing was steady and light, and she looked even more charming and lovely. This little girl is so well behaved. Chen chuckled, and suddenly his eyes moved, and he saw that all the clothes that Jia Mian was wearing today were neatly arranged next to him. Is she now? Gudong tilde. Chen swallowed, but still couldn't hold back his curiosity and gently lifted the quilt. All the beautiful autumn colors are at your fingertips. The S-shaped figure and the angelic face of this stunner are so exciting. As a passionate young man, Chen could no longer remain calm. Chapter 31 I Can't Cheat on Girls. 3 o'clock in the morning. Jia Mian snuggled in Chen's arms, blushing and shy, her voice was extremely tender. Master, the kitten has no strength to provoke tilde. Chen rubbed her head and said, it's getting late, take a rest. They returned to their hotel at around 8 o'clock and have been here ever since. During the period, Chen took Jia Mian to experience the presidential suite's indoor hot spring, bathtub, sauna, etc. When the two of them were taking a hot spring bath, Jia Mian sweetly told Chen that she liked being a kitten and being pampered by Chen. So Chen asked her to call him master. That feeling of being high above the heavens made him completely happy. Ding! Intimate interaction completed. Jia Mian's favorability with you +4, current favorability 79. Name, Jia Mian. Age, 21. Body, height 168 centimeters, 36 a baby-faced goddess. Overall appearance, 94 points. Favorability, 79. Love experience, 1. Current status, the kitten is in the owner's arms, so happy, I wish time would stop at this moment. Mian is worthy of being my good little cat tilde. Chen was in a good mood and closed the system with satisfaction. Turn off the lights and go to bed. The next day. The sunlight poured into the living room of the presidential suite, bright and dazzling. But it makes people feel full of vitality, warm and comfortable. Chen leaned on the sofa and smiled calmly at the two girls. I'll ask their hotel to send breakfast over. You can tell me what you want to eat. Yisinu is easy to support. I just listened to brother Chen's arrangements. I'm not picky. Jia Mian's face was flushed, and she said cutely, I want to eat the same thing as brother Chen. She looked much more natural today than yesterday, no longer so restrained and unable to relax. The complexion looks rosy and shiny, adding a touch of pure desire. Good. Chen nodded, then took out his cell phone and called the hotel manager. For breakfast in the presidential suite, as long as you place an order before 12 o'clock, the butler will deliver it to your room as quickly as possible. Noticing Jia Mian's changes, Yisinu asked curiously, Mian, why do you look so good? Is it because of the nourishment of love? Jia Mian was slightly stunned, her pretty face turned even redder, and she said shyly, it should be. Besides, brother Su Chen has a good figure and has 8-pack abs. Hiss. Yi Sinyu's eyes lit up and she couldn't help but look at Su Chen, who was on the phone. She was in the store at the time and didn't even realize that Su Chen actually had 8-pack abdominal muscles and such a great figure. It's sour. She patted Xia Mion's little hands and said from the bottom of her heart, Mion, I really envy you. You must hold on to brother Su Chen's thighs in the future, be a good little woman behind him, and don't add any trouble or worries to him. Do you understand? Xia Mion nodded, looking silly and cute. I remember everything Sister Sinyu taught me. I must be super good and not fight or compete, so that brother Su Chen will love me and spoil me. Yes. Yi Sinyu smiled and continued to ask, have you changed your words? Do you still call Su Chen brother? Xia Mion blushed, changed it. Oh? Does brother Su Chen want you to call him husband or dad? Yi Sinyu was very curious. Her face flushed and she was a little shy. Neither. Xia Mion shook his head. Yi Sinyu was startled and became even more curious. None of them? Then what are you shouting about? Xia Mion said softly and cutely, brother Su Chen is my master, and I am his obedient little cat tilde. Puff tilde. Yi Sinyu's pretty face turned red in an instant. Can play. Such a good way to play. Time flies and it's already noon. Check out the hotel. Su Chen took the two girls to a top-notch restaurant for a sumptuous seafood dinner. Elrose imported super king crab, grouper, red wine goose liver, prawns, salmon, caviar. Enjoy the thrill of a seafood feast. Neither of the two girls were allergic to seafood, so they enjoyed the meal very much and it was delicious. Then Su Chen took them to the nearby Wing Lung shopping mall for a while and bought them luxury goods, including brand-name clothes, bags, and perfumes. Yi Sinyu and Xia Mion admired Su Chen immensely, with little stars twinkling in their eyes, and they completely turned into little fangirls. Brother Su Chen is so handsome. The most handsome man in the universe tilde. I love you so much, brother Su Chen tilde muir tilde. Wow tilde brother Su Chen has good taste. I really like the bag he chose. The emotional value provided by the two women was maximum, and Su Chen felt really comfortable listening to them. It is detected that you have spent 46,000 yuan, triggering a 3x cashback reward. Cashback amount, 138,000 yuan. It is detected that you have spent 718,000 yuan, triggering a 5x cashback reward. Cashback amount, 3,590,000 yuan. Oh my god. I actually triggered a 5x cashback. It's a great profit. Su Chen was in an even happier mood. Buying things for the two girls made them very happy and it also gave Su Chen enough emotional value. Su Chen himself can also trigger the rewards of the cashback card and make a lot of money. It's the best of both worlds, so cool. Red Maple Community. The Maybach S680 stopped. Xia Mion threw herself into Su Chen's arms reluctantly, tears welling up in her eyes as she said coquettishly, brother Su Chen, please come to see me often and don't leave me, okay? I will be very good and won't cause you any trouble. If you think I'm clingy, just tell me. Don't hate me. She has a simple mind and is also very insecure. She can accept sharing Su Chen's love with others, but she absolutely cannot accept being abandoned by Su Chen. Su Chen was touched, rubbed her head, and said lovingly, don't worry, Mian, I love you the most. After a while, when I am stable, I will buy you a car and a house. Let you be my little princess without worries, okay? Hearing this, Yi Sinyu felt so sad that she almost cried. Buy a car or a house. Become brother Su Chen's little princess without worries. Isn't he this too happy? Really? Brother Su Chen. Xia Mion's eyes lit up and she looked at him in a naive way. 1. I'm kidding you, you little idiot. I'll buy you a car and a house. You're dreaming. Hit her hard and make her cry. 2. It depends on your performance. If you perform well, then of course there is no problem. If you don't perform well, then put pressure on her. 3. Of course. I can't lie to a girl. Hugs her tenderly. Well. Su Chen thought for a moment, then hugged Xia Mion gently and said with a smile, of course it's true. I can't deceive a girl. Aha. Xia Mion nodded and said firmly, Mion believes in brother Su Chen. Ding. Xia Mion's favorability with you +1, current favorability 80. You can claim the rewards for this stage. Chen then transferred 1 million to Chiao Mian as her recent living expenses. Chiao Mian was so moved that he hugged Chen and cried for a long time. Yi Xinyu was even more envious. Who would want to work hard if someone is supporting them? Moreover, Chen is so handsome. To be favored by Chen means you are definitely extremely rich. Of course, Chen's idea was very simple. Since he had promised to support her, he had to do what he said. He doesn't like to go back on his word. Moreover, Chiao Mian is indeed very cute and likable. Very well behaved and obedient. She was willing to do whatever Chen asked her to do. This made Chen, who was a bit chauvinistic in nature, feel very happy. Which man doesn't he like the feeling of being the only one? Chapter 32, Experience life at work and be a network big brother for once. Chen was driving a Maybach S680 on their way to the company. Chiao Mian sent a message. Little cat Mian Mian, master tilde little cat has cancelled the note account. From now on, I will only wear the good clothes for you to see. Little cat Mian Mian, master, do you like this swimsuit? It feels so tight on my flesh tilde it seems that I should lose weight. Video. Chen clicked on the video. Seeing Chiao Mian wearing a dark blue swimsuit, which perfectly wrapped her perfect S-shaped figure, her long legs were white and fleshy, which was beautiful beyond words. It's too burning. Looking at her silly and cute expression, the immature twisting of her waist and dancing, the contrast is simply perfect. Chen, it looks good, I love watching it. Little cat Mian Mian, hee, if the master wants to see any cosplay in the future, you can tell the little cat tilde. Chen, first, let us look at a character from the anime, Slaves of the Magic City Elite, Shan Qinglian, do you know? Little cat Mian Mian, the master wants the little cat to be a slave. The master is bad. Chen, do you listen to the master's orders? Kitten Mian Mian, of course the kitten is obedient, because kittens are the best tilde. Finished chatting. Chen was in a very happy mood. He finally experienced the joy of having a pet. So much fun. Oh, and you can also receive a reward. Ding! Your favorability with Chiao Mian has reached 80, and you can receive the stage reward. Do you want to collect it immediately? Receive. Congratulations on winning the reward, 10 million yuan in cash. I'll go. Chen was excited. In the case of Chiao Mian, with a favorability of 70, he got a partner in a Michelin 3-star restaurant worth 80 million, and now he has received another 10 million. Altogether, I have earned almost 100 million. Is this an ordinary kitten? It is truly a lucky cat to its owner. I love her so much. Chen was in a good mood. I swore to be nicer to Chiao Mian, to interact with him more intimately, and to raise his favorability to 100. The rewards would surely be richer then. 6 p.m. Jianshang Media Company. Chen came to his workstation and turned on the computer. He has been in the industry for half a year and works as a talent scout for internet celebrities, which can be considered as half an internet celebrity agent. Their job content is to recruit anchors on the internet. It seems easy, and it's not tiring. But there are performance targets every month, and if you don't meet them, you won't get the corresponding salary, so there is still some pressure. However, Chen now has money and doesn't care about this job. He was thinking, should he just quit? But he considered that he and Lin Shuyer had just been together, and if he resigned, it would ruin the beauty of that underground relationship. It is not conducive to increasing future favorability. Forget it, let's go to work first. Just treat it as an experience of life. Chen was too lazy to think about it and opened his note account. Start patrolling. He first needs to take a look at how the female anchors under him are performing recently. Their gift flows also involve his commission income. His eyes focused and he saw a name in his follow list that left a deep impression on him. Naifu Xiaoluo is currently live streaming. She is a 19-year-old beautiful girl, a sweet and pure campus beauty. At the beginning of the month, Chen used his big words to pull her into the guild. Later, I handed her over to the operations team and didn't pay much attention to her. However, since she is the school beauty, is it possible that she meets the criteria of a goddess? Chen's mind moved, and he immediately looked at her current live broadcast. Naifu Xiaoluo current number of fans, 5277. Title, Want to be your exception and preference. There were only 56 people in the live broadcast room, and the barrage was not very active. Xiao Luo was wearing a JK uniform, holding her cheek, and chatting and interacting with fans with a dimpled smile. Well, the anchor has only been live streaming for less than a month, so he doesn't know much about live streaming. So there are not many people. The anchor doesn't have any talent. But I can chat with everyone. I'm an accounting major, and I'm pretty good at using a calculator. I'm also pretty good at counting money. Is the anchor a school beauty? I guess so. But it doesn't seem to be of much use, eh? Why do you want to be a live streamer? Of course, my agent told me that being a live streamer is easier and I can earn some living expenses. I usually have nothing to do. It's just that now, he has just let me go and ignored me. Xiao Luo's pitiful appearance made a fan in the live broadcast room give her a gift. Thank you, Naiher, for the romantic fireworks, thank you. She smiled sweetly and made a heart shape with her hands, looking like a beautiful young girl, which made some of the big brothers in the live broadcast room completely obsessed with her. Ding! A new goddess character card has been detected. Name, by Luo Yang. Age, 19. Body, height 166 centimeters, 52 kilograms, pure school beauty. Overall appearance, 95. Favorability, 26. Number of romances, 0. Current status, very troubled. Am I suitable to be a host? Didn't brother Chen tell me that I can make a lot of money with my face? Doubt, have I been deceived? Chen's eyes lit up. Bai Luo Yang scored 95, meeting the standards of a goddess. Moreover, she is a pure campus beauty who has never been in love. How many boys must she be the white moonlight in their hearts? It is very necessary to improve her favorability and get rewards. Chen thought about it and directly opened his private account, Ouchin. Then I recharged 1 million into this account. Detection that their host has spent 1 million yuan triggers a 3x cashback. Cashback amount, 3 million yuan. Your current Douyin coins, 10 million. The special effects gifts of the Qianlong series have been opened. Oh, what kind of gift should I get? Chen pinched his chin and thought, and for a moment he didn't know where to start. At this time, a person with the ID, Jinshang Media Xiao NA, came on the microphone. Chen frowned and was a little surprised. Liu Xiana, this is the head of operations department of their company. Usually sarcastic. What is she going to do when she goes on the microphone at this time? Chapter 32, Bullying My People. How can this be possible? Chen was very curious. Decided to stay put for a while and see what happens. In the live broadcast room, Bai Luo Yang greeted with a sweet smile, Sister NA, you are on the MIC, what's up? Liu Xianar didn't waste any words and directly said, I've been watching you for a long time. What's wrong with your live broadcast? It's not interesting at all. Didn't I send you the anchor manual? Let's get high. You don't even know how to liven up the atmosphere in the live broadcast room. How can there be a big brother who likes you and is willing to give you gifts? She came up and started to criticize him rapidly. Bai Luo Yang was stunned and said pitifully, but, Sister NA, I'm not used to it. Besides, I'm still live streaming, and you're just here to lecture me. Isn't that a bad idea? Upon seeing this, the viewers in the live broadcast room began to speak up for Bai Luo Yang. Hey, big sister, what you said is a bit too much. Everyone has their own live streaming style. You can't ask Xiao Luo to do that. When I stay in this live streaming room, I feel quiet and comfortable. We like this kind of live streaming. No matter what, the girl is still live streaming, you should at least give her some face. Liu Xiana sneered and continued, face. There are only about 50 people in the live broadcast room, what face do you need? You say you like her, but you are all freeloaders. How many of you are giving gifts? I have been in business for many years and have managed more than a dozen millionaires. Do I still need you to teach me how to do things? The live broadcast room was instantly silent. Shivering. Bai Luo Yang felt very aggrieved. Sister NA, you said I can do it, but don't talk about my fans. When Liu Xiana heard this, she became even more angry and said angrily, how dare you say that? How many hit videos did our operations team shoot for you this month? I remember your peak traffic last week, there were 600 people in your live broadcast room, but you have only received more than 1,000 yuan worth of gifts so far. Even if I give you the traffic, you can't control it. What's the point of you? Hear these words. Bai Luoyang was silent for a moment, then said, Sister Na, if you give me a chance, I will work hard to keep my fans and achieve more results. She is a very competitive girl. When others think she is not capable, she wants to prove herself even more. Moreover, she remembered Su Chen had told her that in today's trend, being an internet anchor would definitely earn more and be easier than being an accountant. Only because she has money can she improve the living conditions at home. Liu Xiana sneered and said proudly, there is a chance. You can add your homepage to the social account we provide you, and we will help you operate and maintain your fans. When the time comes, as long as you cooperate well, you will have a gift, right? This. Bai Luoyang is not stupid and he understood it as soon as he heard it. This is the common guild chat and hosting service. They will have professional customer service to help her chat with those fans, ask about their well-being and build closer relationships. Then let her big fans give her gifts willingly. But in fact, the person chatting was not her at all, and she didn't even know what the content of the chat was. It's a bit like deceiving the fans' feelings. Bai Luoyang shook his head and refused, no, I can't do it. I can't get over it in my heart. She has her own bottom line and she really cannot compromise on this kind of thing. Har har, if that's the case, then forget it. You won't have any resources for next month. Just fend for yourself. Liu Xiana was too lazy to argue with her, and finally added, anyway, I'm telling you, no big brother will like you the way you are now. If it really doesn't work, then don't broadcast it. At this time, the number of people in the live broadcast room has risen to 70 and is still gradually increasing. Everyone was filled with righteous indignation and criticized Liu Xiana. Fuck. This woman is so disgusting. You're actually using your resources to force a girl to compromise. Are all the guilds eating in such an ugly way nowadays? It's not a secret that I'm here to chat with you guys, but you, the media company, dare to say it out loud. You're so arrogant. You want traffic, you're going crazy, right? This is a script, absolutely a script. I'm not the one eating it. Get off the MIC. Get off the MIC right now. Let their host broadcast properly. Su Chen finally understood that Liu Xiana was bullying the young anchor she had hired. How can this be tolerated? He sent a barrage using his secondary account, AO Chen. We just like anchors like this, what's wrong? Seeing these comments, Liu Xiana's expression became even more arrogant. Are you anxious? I like to see you guys get so angry and helpless. It's ridiculous. Tell me the truth, is there an anchor like Xiao Luo? Does anyone really like it? There are a lot of naive people like her in society. But she won't work on the internet. At this time, there was a small wave of gift giving in the live broadcast room. Fairy paper cranes, Vientiane fireworks, heart-shaped bunnies, hot air balloons. Bai Luoyang said gratefully, thank you all for the gifts, please stop giving me gifts. I will be off the air soon. I need to study hard. Why are you in such a hurry to get off the air? These people said they like you, but is this all you have? Liu Xiana started calling out names in the live broadcast room, saying, Mo Huisho, you're level 30, and you just bought a pair of sunglasses. And, AO Chen, you're still a new account, and you're saying you like the anchor. Is it that liking someone doesn't cost anything? She scolded them one by one, and finally sneered and started shouting. Har har. If these people can give you 3,000 yuan in 10 minutes today, we will invest 5,000 yuan in Douyin next month, and shoot 10 high-quality short videos for you. The people in the live broadcast room were so angry that they gnashed their teeth and started to give gifts for crowdfunding, but there was still a long way to go before reaching 3,000 yuan. Seeing everyone stand up for her, Bai Luoyang was very moved and choked up, saying, thank you everyone, Xiao Luo will definitely work hard to become a host who brings happiness to everyone. Although I may not reach 3,000, I will also remember the support you give me at this moment. It gives me the motivation to keep going. She stood up and bowed deeply to the barrage. The next moment, the screen is filled with special effects that instantly soar into the sky. Buzz buzz buzz. The deafening dragon roar caused the phone screen to shake violently. AO Chen gives away Dragon Ranger X1, X2, X3. Chen give away 10 Dragon Ranger X. Su Chen smiled calmly and typed a few lines silently. AO Chen, what's wrong with the new account? Who are you looking down on, old lady?